Chapter 463. 2 battles ended, 1 win and 1 loss. Of course, in the arena battles, winning or losing was not important. What was important was who stood on the stage in the end. As soon as Yao Qingjun returned, Fang Ping said in a low voice, "Go over there and exchange some feelings." "Ah, you hit a girl. Aren't you embarrassed?" Yao Qingjun's expression darkened. "Let's fight. I'm weaker than her. Do you want me to go easy on her?" "Idiot. Go and ask if they have any mentality recovery potions or treasures. I suspect they do. Of course, they're not strong enough. They probably don't have them. Scout for information first." As Fang Ping said that, he lowered his voice and said, "Also, go and find out if there are any cultivation methods for mentality?" Yao Qingjun's expression changed. "There shouldn't be. Otherwise, the government would definitely promote it. Mentality could not be actively cultivated. Under mentality-vitality fusion, it could only grow passively. As your body became stronger, so would your mentality. Of course, places like the Celestiality Pressure Room could also be used to train mentality. However, these were passive methods. When mentality-vitality fusion was achieved, vitality could nurture mentality. At rank 7, the energy inside the Sanjiao Gate could be nurtured. However, this was still a passive method. There was no way to actively cultivate one's mental power. Unlike vitality, Fang Ping and the rest might take pills, eat energy fruits, and use energy stones to speed up their cultivation. In reality, cultivating the methods of honing alone could continuously increase the strength of vitality. It was just that the speed was slower. The energy on Earth was very little in the past. That was why the government did not promote it. This was because normal people could not absorb much energy. Cultivating the methods of honing would easily harm the body. However, as the energy concentration increased, the methods of honing cultivation would probably be promoted to the whole nation soon. At that time, everyone would cultivate. Even if they did not take pills, it would still be enough to replenish the consumption of cultivation. Fang Ping said softly, "It's hard to say. Forget it. You're stupid. It's not easy to get information out of you. I'll ask later." Yao Qingjun kept quiet and sat down directly. "I'm not as cunning as you." Fang Ping glanced at Wang Jinyang, who was preparing to enter the arena. He then looked at the third person with a serious expression. He said softly, "You guys have to be domineering at the front. I'll be the king at the back. Just leave it to me. Don't go easy on them. Even if we lose, let them remember that martial arts university students are not afraid of death and are very strong." Wang Jinyang nodded slightly and said softly, "What exactly do you want?" "I want to make friends with them." They know a lot of things. I invited you all here for this sparring match, so winning or losing isn't really that important. Of course, since we've raised the stakes, we still have to win. Don't treat this as a simple sparring match. Show us our strength and make friends. Only among geniuses there was a common language. If there was a chance, he would drag them down to the catacombs with him. It can save us a lot of trouble. Wang Jinyang's pupils constricted. He said in a low voice, "Take it easy. If you kill them and anger those experts, you won't be able to handle it." "I know. That's why we should make friends first." As Fang Ping said that, he nodded and said, "You go first." Wang Jinyang didn't say anything else and quickly walked into the field. As for Fang Ping, he glanced at Yao Qingjun and sighed. His personality is still the same. After so many years, he hasn't changed at all. Yao Qingjun frowned and glanced at him. "Are we close?" In fact, they had only met a few times. Beside him, Li Han Song said dryly, "Was he like this in the past?" "Yes, like a blockhead." Fang Ping shook his head and said helplessly, "He doesn't know how to be flexible." "Forget it, let's not talk about this." "Fang Ping." Li Han Song hesitated for a moment and said softly, "Did you regain your memory?" Fang Ping smiled and shook his head. "No. Sometimes some scattered fragments will flash through my mind. Ironhead, don't tell anyone. We're all anomalies. We'll be targeted easily. I know. I haven't told anyone. Fang Ping thought for a while and said, What about you? You don't have any memory at all? No. Li Hansong smiled bitterly. Not at all. That's normal. Your strength is still a little low. I'm just referring to the past. The stronger you are, the faster you recover. Then, what rank were you then? Above the peak. Fang Ping's gaze was sharp. Definitely. At least, that's what I remember. Forget it. I really can't say any more. If I say any more, there'll be trouble. Having said that, he looked at Yao Qingjun and said, Old Yao, only us brothers know about what happened today. Don't tell anyone else. Yao Qingjun was speechless. What are you guys talking about? I don't even know. Yao Qingjun was still gloomy. Li Hansong patted his shoulder and chuckled. Old Yao, us brothers are of one mind. No matter what happened in the past, in this lifetime, we'll definitely quell the catacombs threat. Li Hansong's words were sonorous and forceful. What he could not do in his past life, he must do it in this lifetime, so that his resurrection would not be in vain. Yao Qingjun was mentally exhausted. He did not ask much. He nodded and said, Quelling the catacombs threat is our common dream. They chatted here. Opposite. Qin Fengqing picked up Jiang Chao's energy fruit and swallowed it, as if he did not care how valuable it was. As he ate, he helped analyze. You guys are probably going to lose this round. Wang Jinyang, don't be fooled by his silence. His strength is actually slightly stronger than Yao Qingjun's. In the previous championship, he defeated both Yao Qingjun and Li Hansong consecutively. Su Zisa asked curiously. Nanjiang Martial Arts University doesn't seem famous, right? It's not famous, and Enmei's strength isn't that great either. But it's his own business that he's strong. As he said that, Qin Fengqing picked up another fruit and swallowed it. He said casually, This doesn't taste too good. Do you have anything that tastes better? Before Jiang Chao could speak, Su Zisa took out some energy fruits from her small bag and said with a grin, I have some here. They taste pretty good. Qin Fengqing reached out and grabbed a few. After taking a bite, he grinned and said, They taste pretty good. Fatty, you can't do it. You're only eating this fruit? It tastes terrible. The denser the energy, the better it tastes. Don't you know this? Jiang Chao said gloomily. I ate some on the way here. There's not much left now. Qin Fengqing cursed in his heart. Don't you know how to save some? But these guys are really rich. Divine weapons, inner armor made from rank 8 golden body monster skin armor, energy fruits that they eat as snacks. Every one of them has a lot of pills and life essence on them. They're so King rich that I want to rob them. Thoughts aside, Qin Fengqing said, If there's a chance next time, I'll bring you to the catacombs. There's a lot of good stuff in the catacombs. The energy mine under the royal city, the life essence of the guardian monster plant. Don't embarrass yourselves with this little bit of life essence. I once snatched a lot of life essence from the hands of a rank 9 monster plant. It's a pity that our instructor was injured, so I could only use it to heal him. This time, even the quiet Jing Nanchi could not help but ask, You've been to the royal city before? Of course. Qin Fengqing smiled and said, Actually, there's nothing fun there. It's boring. Su Zisa asked curiously, Didn't they say that the royal city is very dangerous? You're only rank 5, right? Qin Fengqing smiled and said, It's dangerous, but as a martial artist, why would we care about this little bit of danger? Martial artists of my generation only fight to pacify the catacombs. If we don't even dare to go to the royal city, what's the point of fighting? The few of them had complicated expressions. Su Zisa bit her lip and said, I really envy you guys. Why don't men carry Wugo and conquer 50 states? Martial artists should be like this, fighting heaven and earth, fearless. This kind of martial artist is a true martial artist. As soon as she said this, the others were a little sad. Li Fei suddenly gritted his teeth and said, "When we reach peak rank 6, our families will no longer restrict us. We can go wherever we want to." Qin Fengqin cursed in his heart. F*ck, only peak rank 6 are considered adults? Thinking was just thinking. Qin Fengqin did not say it out loud. He said calmly, "Brotherly, if you guys can't go to the catacombs, it should be no problem to come to MCMU to play, right? Next time, don't call your elders. When you go out, it's just the surface area, and you're already bringing along a rank 8 elder. To put it bluntly, I, Qin Fengqin, don't like this kind of person. Of course, if I really think it's dangerous, I'll go to your place as a guest when I'm free. We can all talk about martial arts together." Li Fei laughed dryly and said nothing. Outsiders were not allowed to enter their place, so it was not easy to answer. However, Qin Fengqin invited them to MCMU as a guest. If he said he would not let them go to his place, it would be a little cold. Li Fei was silent. Jiang Chao smiled and said, "Baldy, I'll stay in MCMU for a while after this, but you have to treat me with some delicious energy fruits." Qin Fengqin's expression changed slightly. He then shook his head and said, "That won't do. I'll forget about my stock if you guys win it this time. If you don't, I'm going to donate it all to MCMU. Some of the juniors in MCMU are lacking in cultivation resources now. I can't treat you guys with them just to satisfy my appetite. It's not that I'm stingy, but the juniors are going to enter the catacombs to fight to the death. It's better to give them a little more to save their lives than to enjoy it personally." Jiang Chao said in surprise, "I didn't know, Baldy. You're quite noble." Qin Fengqin smiled but did not say anything. He glanced at Fang Ping from the corner of his eyes. "I'm sorry, I've almost used up everything you're going to pretend in the future. Pretend again later. It shouldn't be as effective as my first time. Look, these guys are admiring and worshipping me now. You're the one who asked me to come, I can't do anything about it." On the other side, Fang Ping did not have time to bother with Qin Fengqin for now. On the field, Wang Jinyan had already started fighting with his opponent. Wang Jinyan entered the field with his bone marrow force permeating his body. His saber cut through the void, cutting across the field. When this guy unleashed his full power, he could fight a peak rank 6 for 30 seconds when he was just an early stage rank 5. His ability was definitely not weak. Fang Ping squinted, glanced at his opponent, and said in a low voice, "The more we fight, the more experienced the opponent is." The Sanjiao Gate has already appeared. At this moment, one of the 3 Sanjiao gates on top of Wang Jinyang's opponent's head was completely sealed. One of the other 2 doors had also been slightly closed. These spoiled brats had been fighting for so long. When this person unleashed his ability, he was stronger than the previous 2. He was not as flustered as Jiang Chao and Qin Fengqin. Li Hansung's expression was solemn. Did you notice? Their combat techniques are extremely suitable for them. They should be tailor-made for them. I'm afraid old Wang might be in danger." Fang Ping watched for a while and exhaled. Brother Wang is preparing to injure both sides. He's doing this on purpose. Li Hansong rubbed his chin. "I want to try too. If they were injured, perhaps they could be revived." Before this, he did not feel much, but now he realized that after they were injured, they would recover some of their ability. At this moment, Li Hansong felt that being injured was acceptable. Just as the 2 of them finished discussing, in the field, Wang Jinyang unleashed his ability. "Ha!" A loud roar shook everyone's heartstrings. In the next moment, a ring appeared in front of Wang Jinyang. "The Celestial Bridge!" Li Fei and the rest's expressions changed. The person fighting Wang Jinyang was also shocked. Was he going to self-destruct? Earlier, Qin Fengqin said that they had encountered a strong enemy and would self-destruct their Celestial Bridge. He heard it. Martial arts university students were too cruel. Was he going to self-destruct just like that? The person hurriedly flew backward. Wang Jinyang was not doing this to self-destruct. He was not that stupid. In the next moment, Wang Jinyang did something unexpected. This guy grabbed the ring-shaped celestial bridge with one hand and instantly pinched it into a semicircle. No, a bow. The Changdao in his hand was like a long arrow. On the Changdao, a black vitality light burst out. Wang Jinyang drew the bow and shot. Boom! Wherever the Changdao passed, the air exploded. Fire ignited in the void, igniting the air directly. Fang Ping was stunned. Not only Fang Ping, but everyone present was probably stunned as well. Was this even possible? They had never seen a martial artist who used the celestial bridge as a weapon. Was this guy not afraid of breaking the celestial bridge? On the rostrum, Liemo could not hold it in anymore. He said, "These martial arts university students are not normal." He was not cursing, but they were really not normal. If it was a normal martial artist, based on Wang Jinyang's stance, the celestial bridge would break immediately. However, this kid did not break the celestial bridge. Instead, a golden light flashed on the celestial bridge. Liemo glanced at it and had a rough idea. That was imperishable substance. Using the celestial bridge as a bow, the celestial bridge condensed the martial artist's entire strength. It was extremely strong. As for the Changdao, it was not shot out like a normal long arrow. Wang Jinyang used the saber as an arrow. The Changdao that had left his body was actually performing combat techniques. Yes, the saber was practicing combat techniques. As the Changdao shot out, when it neared the person in the air, it exploded with even more power. Liemo thought of something and suddenly said in a low voice, "I think I've heard of these martial artists before." Minister Wang suddenly added, "Brother Li, does Star Town have this information?" Li Mo's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "No. When the ancestors were chatting in the past, I overheard them once. I think they talked about this. However, I was still young then. I don't remember much. Imperishable substance. How about this? When the ancestors return, I'll ask them again. These people. Everyone, please pay more attention to them." Minister Wang's expression was uncertain. Old Man Li and Lu Fengru were also silent. Desperate realm powerhouses had talked about these people before? After all, these people had just appeared not long ago. They were very young. Liemo looked young, but in reality, he was already 80 years old. When was he still young? What was that? Old Man Li was silent for a moment. He suddenly said, "Is Star Town really not open to the public?" Liemo was silent. Old Man Li sneered and said lightly, "Fine. It's your home, after all. We old fellows don't care. We just want to let the younger generation know more." Liemo glanced at him. "You're not qualified to call me old fellows." However, he was too lazy to say more. He thought for a moment and said, "Let's wait and see." Star Town was their home. It was also the pure land of the few top-notch powerhouses. After fighting outside for many years, these ancestors were also very tired. Perhaps Star Town's existence was the pure land they wanted to create in their dreams. If outsiders were allowed to enter, this small pure land might no longer be peaceful. This matter was not something he could decide. As they spoke, the Changdao had already descended. Boom! The sound of explosions rang out continuously. Sparks flew everywhere. The middle stage rank 6 powerhouse in the air had also unleashed his full strength. However, he was constantly pushed back by the Changdao's slashes. On the ground, Wang Jinyang tread rose into the air, arriving in front of the other party in an instant. Holding the Changdao, the blood-red glow once again erupted to the extreme. The sound of explosions rang out continuously. Enough. The person opposite was completely enraged. He had enough of being suppressed continuously. Not only was he being suppressed, but the moment the Changdao attacked earlier, the clothes all over his body were shredded. At this moment, other than his inner armor, the rest of his body was covered in saber marks. He was beaten up too badly. The next moment, this person's second half-sealed Sanjiao gate opened with a bang. Within the opened Sanjiao gate, an extremely powerful energy emerged. The martial artist, who was already a notch stronger than Wang Jinyang, suddenly unleashed an even stronger vitality force. The spear in his hand also erupted with a dazzling light, sweeping toward Wang Jinyang. Old Wang is so pitiful. Fang Ping mumbled. You can only blame yourself for being too arrogant, beating the other party until he lost his mind. From middle stage to upper stage rank 6, the second Sanjiao gate had to be sealed. The other party's Sanjiao gate was originally half-sealed. Now that it was open directly, this fellow could only start sealing it again, suffering heavy losses. Unless it was a last resort, rank 6 martial artists would rarely do something like this. Li Hansong said dryly. Later, their upper stage won't do the same, right? If the upper stage really opened the Sanjiao gate, he probably would not be able to defeat them. Don't be afraid. You have a copper skull and iron bones. He can't kill you. If he dares to open the Sanjiao gate, you can smash his gate with your head. It's just a competition of ruthlessness. I don't believe that these fellows are really that ruthless, Fang Ping said perfunctorily. At this moment, the battle had already reached the final stage. The other party had opened a half-sealed gate. Under the great increase in strength, he suppressed Wang Jinyang instantly. There was still a gap in strength, and it was not a small one. Wang Jinyang's expression was indifferent. The celestial bridge suddenly appeared again. In the next moment, the celestial bridge grew to its limit. All of Wang Jinyang's vitality erupted, merging into the celestial bridge in an instant. Then, he grabbed the celestial bridge and smashed it toward the other party's Sanjiao gate. The Sanjiao gate was half virtual and half real. Attacks could not hit it. However, at this moment, the celestial bridge was smashed. On the rostrum, the expressions of a few powerhouses changed. The celestial bridge and the Sanjiao gate complemented each other. Other weapons could not attack, but the celestial bridge was an exception. If it collided, whether it was the celestial bridge or the Sanjiao gate that would shatter, they would not be able to accept it. Li Mo quickly glanced at Li Changxing. Old Manly said irresponsibly, "He's not from MC Mayu. In other words, so be it if he died. I don't care." Li Mo almost died of anger. Beside him, Minister Wang did not say a word. He stretched out his hand abruptly. From a distance of 100 meters, a palm appeared out of thin air. He grabbed Wang Jinyang's celestial bridge and threw it back. A friendly match. Don't overdo it. Minister Wang frowned slightly and said, "Consider it a draw." Wang Jinyang did not utter a word. He withdrew his celestial bridge. The person opposite him looked indignant. Then, he gritted his teeth and turned to leave. Mother ****. Lunatic. Lunatic. He had to be out of his mind to agree to this friendly match. The first thing he did was gamble with his life, treating the celestial bridge and the Sanjiao gate as child's play. What were these guys thinking? Although the other party's celestial bridge might not be able to smash his Sanjiao gate, what if it could? The other party's celestial bridge could be bent into a bow. Who knew if it could be smashed? If it could not be smashed, what if he self-destructed? At this moment, the 3 battles had ended. Li Fei and the others were extremely aggrieved. They could not fight anymore. The other party's ability was obviously not as good as theirs, but they were suppressed in every way. It was really too aggrieving. As for Qin Fengqing, he was still taking big bites of an energy fruit. He casually said, "Don't mind it. This is how we fight. You'll get used to it." Everyone's expressions changed again. Get used to it? How did you guys survive until now? Every battle is like this. How many celestial bridges do you have to blow up? Or could it be that this Baldy was bragging? While the others were doubting him, Qin Fengqing acted as if he did not feel it. He added, "Blow up and condense again. It just takes a little more effort. We have experience. We won't die." Chapter 464. The 4th match begins. Minister Wang announced the start of the match after Wang Jinyang and Li Fei left the stage. Li Hansong twisted his neck and glanced at Li Fei, who was fighting, muttering, This kid has nothing to do with Commander Li, right? He was only 23 years old. Li Fei was a few years older than him. However, Li Hansong did not feel awkward when he mentioned this kid. After 3 matches, everyone looked down on their opponents even though they did not say it out loud. Among the people present, who wasn't a proud and arrogant person, the 3 middle stage rank SIXS were nothing much. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Don't worry about their relationship. Don't be careless. Among these people, I noticed that Li Fei and Jing Nanqi reeked of blood. They must have gone through hardships to be able to reach upper stage rank 6. Don't worry. Li Hansong nodded and strode out. Wang Jinang sat down for a moment, then suddenly stood up and walked over. Fang Ping was stunned. I didn't even say anything and you went over? What are you doing? However, thinking about it, and Miyu was so poor that old Wang would do anything for resources. Fang Ping understood that. Ever since he met Wang Jinang, he had benefited from everything. Whether it was doing missions, going down to the catacombs, or finding a fugitive, old Wang was very proactive. This guy did not care if he had to show off when there were benefits. It was understandable that old Wang took the initiative to go over. Fang Ping could understand it, but Qin Fengqing's expression darkened. Mother Kerr, what are you doing here? Ignoring old Wang, Qin Fengqing continued to take fruits, and realized that they were empty. Beside him, Jiang Chao looked at him innocently. This big baldy has a big appetite. My fruits are gone. Qin Fengqing didn't feel embarrassed. He laughed and patted his shoulder. I'll treat you to good food later. Eating too many energy fruits will spoil your appetite. We men should eat meat and drink wine. Brother, I'll treat you to lunch. Don't be shy. He had already thought about it. It was not bad to go to the cafeteria for lunch. Beside him, old Wang ignored him and started talking to the person from before. Old Wang did not fool him. Instead, he discussed martial arts with the other person seriously. Qin Fengqing saw that everyone else was listening and felt helpless. He glanced at Jiang Chao. It seemed that this fatty was the only one who did not care. It seemed that he had to target this guy. They chatted enthusiastically, and it also made the sparring match feel like friendship first, competition second. In the field. This was the first time Li Hansong had displayed his full strength. Li Hansong, who looked like a golden man, was like a mad demon. He went all out and pummeled Li Fei. Li Fei used a saber while Li Hansong used his fists. These 2 people were not careless either. They went head-to-head the moment they stepped onto the stage. Although Li Fei's sword was a divine weapon, it was only slightly stronger than an A-grade weapon. The 2 of them quickly collided dozens of times. When Li Fei's blade landed on Li Hansong's body, brilliant sparks immediately erupted. It was as if he had really struck a golden man. After watching for a while, Fang Ping suddenly felt a sense of inferiority. What's going on? This Tai Tu's half-golden body seemed to be even stronger than his half-golden body. Upper stage rank 6 Li Fei, wielding a divine weapon, had only left some shallow marks on Li Hansong's body. Li Hansong's defense was invincible. At the very least, at the 5th and 6th level, this fellow really had the feeling of having an invincible defense. Li Hansong was extremely arrogant at this moment. Although he was sent flying a few times, he laughed loudly and said, "Continue! Come, chop his head!" After saying that, this fellow's head turned completely golden. He roared, "Come on, chop!" Li Hansong took the initiative to rush forward. When Li Fei's saber slashed down, he used his head to block it and threw a punch at Li Fei's head. Let's see who can break whose head first. Anger flashed in Li Fei's eyes. He refused to retreat either. He let out a series of low growls and a wave of vitality erupted. The aftershocks shook the ground and sent soil flying. Bang, bang, bang. A series of explosive sounds rang out. Li Hansong was still laughing maniacally, but he was cursing in his heart. It hurt so much. His brain was about to be shaken out. The other party did not manage to chop his head into pieces, but his scalp was a bloody mess. Most importantly, The vibrations from the force had shaken his head until it was numb. However, Li Hansong could not care less. When Li Fei chopped at him, he also madly hammered at Li Fei. The battle between the two of them was the most intense among the few battles they had fought so far. Both of them neither dodged nor retreated. They just fought head-on. Li Hansong's head had turned into a bloody gourd, but he did not care. He continued to laugh maniacally. He had to show his dominance. If you chop me until I bleed, then I laugh maniacally. Does that not make me look more domineering? Idiot! This word appeared in the minds of Fang Ping and the others at the same time. What is Li Hansong doing? Your iron head is your advantage, but don't always use your head to block divine weapons. This guy was about to be chopped in half. Even the golden bones on his head were visible. He was too arrogant. Fang Ping and the others scolded him, but they would not say it out loud. Jiang Chao and the others, on the other hand, were even more certain that these martial arts university students were crazy. It was too crazy. Qin Fengqing said that they killed people like flies. It did not seem like he was lying. On the rostrum, Old Manly was about to doze off as he watched. Both of them were attacking each other with a knife and a punch. One relied on his hard head, while the other relied on his rich vitality to raise his vitality defense shield. If they continued fighting like this, it would be a matter of who could last longer. Li Hansong's iron head also consumed vitality force, but Li Fei consumed more. However, his opponent was much stronger and had a much faster recovery rate. Li Hansong might not be able to outlast his opponent. After watching for a while, the two of them seemed to be fighting for a while. Old Manly suddenly looked at Liemo and said, "Old Brotherly, come to think of it, we were family 500 years ago." Liemo looked at him and did not say anything. "The juniors have been fighting until now, and there's only one person left on both sides. Your side is upper stage rank 6, and our side is peak rank 5. Do you want to guess who will win in the end?" Minister Wang looked at him abruptly. "What are you trying to do?" Liemo said mildly. "Dean Li, speak your mind." Old Manly grinned and said, "A little gambling is fun. Old Brotherly, are you interested in making a bet?" Liemo said straightforwardly, "Not interested." Old Manly looked embarrassed. "What's going on? You don't even dare to make a bet?" The juniors in Stellar Sky City were easily provoked. The older generation, on the other hand, was very difficult to provoke. Liemo was unwilling to bet, and Old Manly could not do anything about it. However, he still said, "I think there's not much suspense after fighting until now. No matter whether Li Hansong wins or loses, Fang Ping will win." Seeing this, Minister Wang scolded, "Dean Li, does this guy really think that those who have reached rank 8 are still fools? Your provocation can only fool those youngsters." Just as Minister Wang finished scolding, Liemo suddenly laughed and said, "Dean Li, you don't have to provoke me. Since you said so, the juniors' battle is boring. How about you and I have a match?" Old Manly grinned and said, "Forget about me. I'm not a rank 8. You're a peak rank 8. Why don't you let Minister Wang spar with Mr. Li?" Minister Wang's face darkened. If Li Changxing dared to speak again, he would kick him to death. Liemo did not reply. It was enough for him to admit defeat. The juniors of MCMU were arrogant, but you can't be arrogant, can you? Old Manly probably felt embarrassed too. He coughed dryly and said, "How about, when Old Wu comes back, I'll play with Mr. Li?" Liemo still did not reply. Instead, he asked, "How's the situation in 7 Southern Territory now?" Minister Wang said, "The military department received news the day before yesterday. It's still in a stalemate. A few Forbidden Lands 7 rank 9 monsters have made a move and fought with the people from the restricted areas. However, there are also monsters from the restricted areas who walked out of Mount Imperial Sea. The battle lasted for a while, and then subsided. Currently, people from 7 Southern Territory, monsters from the Forbidden Lands, and people from the restricted areas have gathered at Skygate City. It's probably time for peace talks." As he said this, Minister Wang added, "Also, I'm afraid Skygate City will really have to move. Now that Skygate City has suffered heavy losses, it's no longer suitable to be the vanguard to attack Hope City. As he spoke, Lu Fengru, who had been silent all this while, suddenly said, "Is Skygate City moving or evacuating?" Minister Wang glanced at her and said in a low voice, "Dean Lu, whether it's moving or evacuating, Skygate City's governor is a rank 9 powerhouse. Now that he's wielding a rank 9 divine weapon, his combat strength is incomparable to the average rank 9. Even if it's Guardian Wu, although his ability is a notch higher than the governor's and he can defeat the governor with a divine weapon, it's still extremely difficult to kill him. If he works with the Skygate tree, even Guardian Wu might not be able to withstand the joint attack of both of them. You should understand what I'm trying to say." Lu Fengru frowned and said, "I'm just asking if it's evacuating or moving. Minister Wang, you don't have to explain so much to me." Minister Wang was silent for a moment. After a while he said, "The possibility of evacuating is higher. Now that he's being viewed as an enemy by the Forbidden Lands in 7th Southern Territory, if he stays in 7th Southern Territory, there might be some trouble. I'm not sure about the specifics. Evacuate to the central forbidden area that you guys mentioned?" Lu Fengru's expression was complicated. She said, "Can we enter the forbidden area?" Beside her, Liamo said, "The forbidden area is full of danger. Every passageway is guarded by powerhouses. We can't go through." Minister Wang glanced at him. Liamo knew what he was thinking. He shook his head and said, "That's a battlefield for the young." Minister Wang did not say anything else. He changed the topic and said, "Dean Lu, even if the governor doesn't leave, you can't kill him even if you want to. When the day comes when a full-scale war breaks out, then there'll be a time to settle the score. The powerhouses from these territories who slaughtered humans, including the Castellans, will be accounted for in the end. When that time comes, we won't have to worry anymore. These catacombs martial artists whose hands are stained with human blood can forget about escaping." Lu Fengru said lightly, "What if the governor keeps hiding in the forbidden area and refuses to come out?" After saying that, she added, "This is my personal vendetta. Minister Wang, you don't have to worry about it. It's fine as long as I know the news." Minister Wang did not say anything else. Old Manly rubbed his chin and said, "Minister Wang, have you found Uncle Lu's whereabouts?" Minister Wang frowned. After a while, he shook his head and said, "He isn't at Mount Imperial Sea. That should be the case. There are some human martial artists at Mount Imperial Sea. Wanshan Temple's abbot Jie Kong has always been in the depths of Mount Imperial Sea. But Mr. Lu isn't there," Old Manly said with a headache. "I thought Uncle Lu went to the Central Mountains. Mount Imperial Sea. Now that you say he's not there, where did he go?" Liamo glanced at Lu Fengru. Seeing the complicated look in her eyes, he thought for a while and said, "If he didn't go to Mount Imperial Sea, then he might have gone to the Forbidden Sea." Lu Fengru's expression changed. "The Forbidden Sea! The Forbidden Sea where no one survived! If her father went to Mount Imperial Sea, there was still hope of survival. If he really went to the Forbidden Sea, he might really die." Liamo sighed and said, "I'm just guessing. Of course, we can't rule out the possibility that your father is still in seclusion somewhere in the 7th Southern Territory. This is all possible, or he's in the bounded domain." "The bounded domain?" Old Manly was scratching his ears and cheeks. He asked hurriedly, "What kind of place is the bounded domain?" "It's the barrier land between the various small territories," Liamo explained. "In the east and west direction of the 7th Southern Territory, at the end, is the bounded domain. However, the distance is huge. The eastern bounded domain is more than 3,000 kilometers away from Hope City. You still have to cross an area of the Forbidden Sea before you can reach it. Moreover, there's a forbidden land like the 100 Beasts Forest in the east. You still have to cross 3 cities. Even if a human rank 9 martial artist wants to go there, it's extremely difficult. There's a forbidden land like the 10,000 Ants Desert in the west. At the end, you still have to cross a small boundary of Mount Imperial Sea to reach the western bounded domain. The bounded domain is full of danger. Lucian might not be there. After all, he was only a peak rank 7 before he left. Lu Fengru frowned slightly and said, "Why does he want to go to the bounded domain? Martial artists would not actively seek death. Going to the Forbidden Zone and the Forbidden Sea might be to find benefits to break through. What benefits did the bounded domain have that was worth her father going there?" Liemo thought for a while and said, "I actually don't know much about the situation in the bounded domain. I've never been there. In reality, other than a few elders, the others probably haven't been there. Even the old ancestor didn't know much about that side, and wasn't too sure. However, I heard the elders say there might be some relics in the bounded domain." "Relics?" "Yes, relics." Liemo was a little more talkative now. He explained, "The situation in the catacombs is actually more complicated than you know. It's so complicated that even Polaris City doesn't know much about it. Polaris City's history isn't that long. It hasn't even been 300 years since its establishment. Some things can actually be traced back to a very long time ago, 1,000 years ago, or even longer. Of course, some of these things can't be said, and some can't be said. However, since we've come to this point, then I'll say a few more words. The relics in the bounded domain, maybe some of them were left behind by human powerhouses. The time can probably be traced back to the ancient martial era." "Ancient martial era?" Old Manly raised his eyebrows and said, "Are you sure?" "I'm not sure." Old Manly was speechless. What a straightforward answer. The so-called ancient martial era referred to the early days of the emergence of martial arts. That was something that happened a long time ago. The ancient martial era even included the period of legends of immortals and gods. This was a very long span of history. After that, it was the era of the rise of sections. After that, it was the current neo-martial era. Some sects with a long history could be traced back to as long as 1,000 years. The ancient martial era was something that happened at least 1,000 years ago. Taking advantage of the fact that Liemo, a person who knew the inside story, was around, Old Manly said. In other words, humans and the catacombs didn't just come into contact now. Maybe they came into contact 1,000 years ago. In the bounded domain you mentioned, there are some relics. There are relics from the catacombs and also human relics. The relics you mentioned are related to the Demon Emperor era, right? Liemo shook his head and said, "I don't know. There's no point in asking me. There are some things that the ancestors won't tell us." Old Manly smiled and said, "You keep calling them ancestors. You're not young anymore, right? I'm very curious. How old are the ancestors?" Liemo shook his head again and said, "I'm not sure. When I was young, the ancestors were already guarding Mount Imperial Sea. All these years, the ancestors have had a hard time. In the past 100 years, they've returned to Polaris City less than 30 times." As Liemo said that, he sighed and said, "I won't say much about the ancestors. As for whether Elvision has gone to the bounded domain, it's hard to say. Maybe he'll be back soon." If a rank 8 powerhouse did not want to say anything, it was useless to ask. Old Manly heard that and did not ask any more. He glanced sideways and happened to see Li Han Song being sent flying by a saber, covered in blood. As for Li Fei, he was also panting heavily, his eyes red as he roared. Again! He was about to go crazy from hitting this iron head. The other party kept provoking him, exchanging hundreds of blows with him. He sent the other flying again and again, but he could not hurt the other party severely. Iron Headley was very tenacious and had strong defense too. After being sent flying, he came back and continued to fight. At this moment, Li Fei's nose had caved in, and his head was almost smashed by a punch. Li Han Song, who was sent flying, could not even see his face anymore. His head was almost bald, and only a few strands of hair were left on him. Li Han Song was indeed very tenacious. In the next moment, he flew back again, shouting, "Is that all you've got? Come on, continue to attack. I'm not even crying." You're in upper stage rank 6, and you're crying like a bear. Don't you find it embarrassing? Li Fei almost exploded in anger. Am I crying? Do you think I'm a coward like Jiang Chao? My nose was almost smashed by your punch. I really can't hold it in anymore. My tears are uncontrollable. Seeing that both of them were clamoring to continue fighting, Old Man Li coughed softly and said, These two kids also have the surname Li. We're also… Forget it. This round will be considered a draw. Minister Wang was speechless. What kind of reason was that? Both of you have the surname Li, and you want to consider it a draw? What the hell? However, this was a friendly match. Up until now, it was a battle of life and death. Minister Wang nodded and said, Then let's call it a draw. As soon as he said that, Li Mo's expression turned slightly ugly. Another draw. 4 rounds, 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 draws. He did not have the slightest advantage. The key was that the other party was all rank 5. It would be fine if he won the last round. If he lost, it would be really embarrassing. Even if he won, it was still embarrassing to fight to this point. Li Mo did not say anything. Minister Wang did not delay any further. He opened his mouth and said loudly, The friendly match ends here. It's a draw! Li Fei was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. Li Han Song was even more unhappy. He said loudly, It's not over yet! He had promised Fang Ping that he would only get the divine weapon if he won. Now that it was a draw, what was going on? As soon as he said that, Li Fei was even more annoyed. I didn't even say anything, and you're already unhappy? Do you really think I can't chop off your dog head? As soon as Li Hansung's voice fell, the 3 Sanjiao gates above Li Fei's head were full of anger. Come on, I'll open one of my gates and fight you to the end. Li Hansung's head was also shining. What are you showing off for? I'll kill you! However, this kid was quite durable. Li Hansong had to admit that Li Fei was slightly better than the other fellows. Especially that fatty. That fatty actually stopped fighting after suffering some minor injuries. Although Li Fei's injuries were not serious, they were not light either. The reason he was able to fight until now was because of the advantage of his iron head, golden body. Both of them were ready to fight. Below them, Fang Ping suddenly said, Don't hurt the harmony between the two of you. Let's focus on learning from each other. Moreover, Senior Jing and I have been sitting here for too long. How about the two of you give us a chance to perform? These words were considered as giving the two of them a way out. Li Hansong said without fear, It's only because of Fang Ping. Otherwise. Having said that, this fellow turned around and landed on the ground. Fang Ping glanced at him. Iron Head Li had become arrogant. If we continue fighting, you're going to kneel. Why are you still pretending? You can even be brothers with Qin Feng Qin now. Even your hair has been beaten off. In the past, he thought that Li Han Song was quite simple and honest, but now, Fang Ping shook his head slightly. He did not know what was going on. Was it because he had become stronger that he had become arrogant? As for the one he brought, Fang Ping would not admit it. Chapter 465. The moment Fang Ping walked out of the room, all around the field, a series of shouts resounded throughout MC Mayu. President is invincible! Invincible! The roars were loud and clamorous. These people were fighting on MC Mayu campus. Although it was not announced to the public, the fight was still very loud. At this moment, countless students had already gathered outside the arena. When he saw Fang Ping walk out, regardless of whether they were sincere or just bootlicking, they had to shout first. Otherwise, if the president knew that they were here and didn't cheer for him, what would they do if their credits were deducted later? Fang Ping nodded his head at the crowd and said in a clear voice, Everyone, this is just a friendly match. Don't make a ruckus. Otherwise, our seniors will look down on MC Mayu. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire place fell silent. Fang Ping's prowess was evident. Although that was what Fang Ping said, he was considering whether he should give out more benefits later. Look, what does it mean to have the support of the masses? Look, what is called prestige to convince the masses. Did Qin Fengqing and the others receive such treatment when they went on stage? On the other side, Jing Nanqi's expression was solemn. Everything else aside, just this popularity alone. The #1 martial arts university truly lived up to his name. For Fan Ping to be able to attain such a prestigious reputation, it was impossible for him to be weak. On the martial arts university's side, there were 4 contestants, and all of them were extremely strong. That Baldy was slightly weaker, so he was the only one who lost. Moreover, the further they went, the stronger they would become. With Fan Ping holding the line, their strength might be even stronger than expected. Jing Nanqi's expression was solemn. Fan Ping, on the other hand, gave a relaxed smile and said, "Senior brother Jing, I've already said yesterday that I'll give it my all in the arena. I hope senior brother Jing won't hold back either." "Of course." He stroked the saber at his waist lightly and chuckled. "If that's the case, then I'll use my saber." On the rostrum, Old Manly suddenly coughed softly and said, "Fan Ping, they're guests. Don't use the chaos vanquishing saber." Fan Ping thought about it and nodded. Then, Jing Nanqi felt that he had been insulted, and his expression instantly changed as he said in a low voice, "Junior brother Fan, since you said that you would go all out, then there's no need for all this." Fan Ping was a little troubled, but he quickly said, "Fine. If I really do that, it would be disrespectful to martial arts. Let's begin." Below the stage, Fan Ping announced the start. In the resting area, Qin Fengqing suddenly sighed. "It's over." Everyone looked at him. Even Li Fei could not be bothered to stare at Li Hansong, who had just arrived. He asked in a low voice, "What do you mean?" Qin Fengqing sighed again and looked around. Beside him, Su Zhisu was very understanding. She quickly took out a few energy fruits and handed them over. In these few battles, Qin Fengqing had been helping to analyze the battles, including introducing the others. However, Baldy had a bad habit. He would stutter when he didn't eat. Only when he ate would he stop stuttering. Qin Fengqing swallowed it in one gulp. Only then did he say quickly, "Fan Ping's saber technique isn't that great. Don't look at me like that. I'm serious. Fan Ping Ping he. Fan Li he of Wu. Fan Marshal Fan Ping Fan Ping he had he Fan and he almost he Fan I of Fan Ping has been nurturing his saber for a month." Qin Fengqing continued to eat. He added, "He was rank 4 then. Now he's peak rank 5. His vitality now. I don't know how strong his saber is." Everyone frowned. Li Fei looked at Li Hansong, who was covered in blood. Li Hansong coughed. "That was before. Now, he might not be able to defeat me. He might not be able to defeat me." Meant that he was not confident that he could take one hit. Li Fei knew how difficult it was to deal with him. Did that not mean, thinking of this, Li Fei looked down. On the field, a storm was brewing. When Fan Ping held his saber, Jing Nanqi's expression was solemn. Fan Ping, an early stage rank 5, had killed a rank 6 martial artist in one hit. After his golden bones were revived, he had killed a middle stage rank 6. Now that he had stepped into peak rank 5, his golden bones and half-golden body had been forged. These few days, he had also completed the run-in. His vitality was 4,800 calories. Today, it was 5,999 calories. It had increased by more than 1,000 cal. Compared to the championship, Fan Ping's vitality had increased a lot. Now, Fan Ping was holding his saber, but the atmosphere was stifling. On the rostrum, Li Mo's expression changed again. Was Jing Nanqi an idiot? He was giving his opponent time to build up. In his eyes right now, this kid named Fan Ping was activating his golden bones. Yes, golden bones. That was not all. In his opponent's hand, streams of celestiality flowed into the saber. The saber on Fang Ping's waist was vibrating. The match had begun. What Jing Nanqi needed to do now was to interrupt the other party's accumulation of power, and not just watch. Idiot! Do you think this is a friendly match? Are you waiting for him to finish building up before you attack? Liemo, a rank 8 powerhouse, could have been very calm. However, he was pissed today. The previous matches were embarrassing. This one might be even more embarrassing. Jing Nanqi was full of martial spirit. Because he was an upper stage rank 6, he knew Fang Ping was building up, but he gave him time. Now, the field was raging. In terms of momentum, Jing Nanqi was at a disadvantage before the fight even started. Liemo cursed in his heart. Old Man Li was speechless. Fang Ping could have built up his strength a long time ago, but he waited until the match started. He wanted it to be more fair. I didn't expect cough cough. Old Man Li saw that this brother with the same surname had the urge to flip out, so he stopped. This kid from Stellar Sky City is really stupid. After thinking for a while, Old Man Li said suddenly, "You guys have a TV, right? Did he watch too many martial arts dramas?" "Shut up!" The one scolding him was not Liemo, but Minister Wang. Was Li Chanxing looking for a fight? Jing Nanqi. Jing Nanqi was still a kid. He worshipped martial spirit. It was no problem for him to wait for his opponent to finish building up. Minister Wang comforted him in his heart. Look at Jing Nanqi. Forget it, this kid will probably die in one slash. Fang Ping is about to condense 30C celestiality. If you don't interrupt him, he'll kill you with one slash. I'll have to do it later. Minister Wang watched silently. Around 35C. Around 40C. Kid, if you don't interrupt him, I'll stop him before he makes a move. 45C. Fang Ping, that's enough. Your body's endurance is almost there. Leave him some face. Are you really going to kill him with one slash? Although Fang Ping's 45C celestiality was far from powerhouses like them, it was still the same in essence. The only difference was the person who used it. When he condensed to 50C, he was confident that he could kill his opponent with one slash. Minister Wang was still calculating silently. Offstage, Fang Ping was in a dilemma. Jing Nanqi was so innocent. Should I defeat you with one slash, or should I defeat you with one slash? If you interrupted me earlier, I could have fought with you for a while. Fang Ping did not accumulate energy earlier because he had the intention to go easy. The celestiality he condensed was not enough. Jing Nanqi also had a divine weapon in hand, so he could not be killed with one slash. But now, Fang Ping wanted to stop for a while. The competition had already started, but this guy was still looking at him. He did not hide his energy fluctuations. It was so obvious. Feeling a slight swelling in his arm, Fang Ping still took the initiative to stop. 45C, 1 slash. Comrade Little Jing could take it, right? Jing Nanqi was not as naive as he could be. The moment Fang Ping stopped, Jing Nanqi suddenly moved, leaving a trail of afterimages in the air. In the next moment, Jing Nanqi's fist exploded with a dazzling light. He was using a divine weapon glove. Fang Ping's eyes were bright. This glove, he would give it to Big Lion. Big Lion's bloody glove, below the divine weapon, was also famous throughout the country. Before this, Fang Ping was still thinking about what to do if the divine weapon did not match. Now it seemed like this glove should not be a problem for Big Lion to use. God-destroying single slash! Just as Jing Nanqi's fist came, Fang Ping pulled out his saber. Boom! As soon as the saber was pulled out, the ground around it was instantly lifted and dust flew. A pillar of light that reached the sky instantly rose. Around the field, some low-ranked students retreated continuously, the aftershock of the energy hitting them. On the rostrum, Liemo was itching to make a move, ready to help at any time. Boom! First, there was a blinding light. A moment later, accompanied by a loud noise, a figure flew backward. Amidst the flying dust, Fang Ping sheathed his saber and stood in the air. The dust around him fell instantly when it reached him, restoring peace. In the distance, Xingnanqi landed on the ground and kept retreating. He retreated more than 100 meters. The ground cracked from his steps, and the barbed wire surrounding the field was knocked hundreds of meters away. Xingnanqi's legs dragged, and in the end, there was even a drag mark tens of meters long. The moment he stopped, Xingnanqi's face instantly turned pale, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Raising his head to look at Fang Ping, who had already landed in front of him, Xingnanqi's face was as white as snow. He murmured, "The number one in martial arts universities." Was this the strength of the number one in martial arts universities? Was this the martial arts university student that he thought was nothing? Defeated in one slash. In today's 5 battles, no matter how badly the others fought, no matter how embarrassing they were, it was not really that bad. Jiang Chao was only lightly injured, but Qin Fengqing's injuries were very serious. Yao Chengjun had only managed to force Jiang Xian to retreat, and his body was also covered in numerous injuries. Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong had fought to a draw with difficulty, but it was not because they were stronger than them. Against Fang Ping, however, he could not even take one slash. In that slash just now, Fang Ping seemed to have held back. He could feel the difference in the explosive force when he used his saber and when he used his fist. Opposite him, Fang Ping looked apologetic. He bowed slightly and said, "Senior Jing, as the current number one martial artist among the martial arts university students, I cannot lose. MC Mayu can't afford to lose either. I'm sorry." Xingnanqi's face was full of bitterness. He wanted to say something but stopped. Fang Ping did not say anything. He went forward to help him up, chuckling. "Friendship first, competition second. Today, we won't go home until we're drunk." As he said that, Fang Ping glanced at the boxing gloves from the corner of his eyes. F***ck, divine weapons were good. After this slash, the boxing gloves were still boxing gloves. Not a single mark was left. Amazing! Fortunately, it did not shatter. Otherwise, the boxing gloves would be gone. In the arena, Fang Ping defeated Xingnanqi with one slash. In the arena, Qin Fengqing swallowed another energy fruit in one gulp. He rubbed his stomach. He could not eat any more. If he ate any more, he would not be able to digest the energy. Seeing that Li Fei and the others could not take the blow, Qin Fengqing purposely whispered. Fang Ping actually held back. He held back at least half of his strength. "You guys." Sigh, he probably didn't expect old Jing's strength to be this weak. Qin Fengqing shook his head, looking helpless. He patted Jiang Chao beside him and sighed. "Fatty, I'm not trying to hurt you. If you go up there, he would have killed you with half a slash. When I said that he could fight 10 of you alone, you guys didn't believe me." Li Fei's expression was slightly ugly. He charged up for a long time. Qin Fengqing sighed again. He purposely held back so that old Jing could interrupt him. He wanted to save you guys some face. Otherwise, why would he have needed so long to charge up? Who knew? You guys don't have any combat experience. You just watched. In the end, didn't you see that he stopped erupting? If I had known, I would have held back a little more. Qin Fengqing! Wang Jinyang bellowed, reprimanding. "Don't talk nonsense!" Qin Fengqing understood and laughed dryly. "Don't tell old Zhang later. If he finds out, he'll be devastated. Let's not talk about this. From the looks of it, old Jing isn't injured." Fang Ping charged up for a long time and only managed to force him back. "He'll probably feel better." The others did not say anything. Jiang Chao wiped his non-existent sweat and cursed. "Mother ***, so brutal. This guy. Didn't he say that the peak rank 6 he killed was injured?" Qin Fengqing was speechless. Even if he was injured, he was only middle stage rank 5 then. Now he's at peak. His strength has increased a lot. What are you guys thinking? Jiang Chao looked gloomy. He complained, "I think he's a friendly guy. Why is he so violent?" Friendly. Qin Fengqing wanted to curse. However, after considering that he would probably be beaten to death by Fang Ping, he smiled and said, "He's the president of MC Mayu's Martial Arts Society. Naturally, he's friendly to guests. However, he's a martial artist. Once he fights, he'll naturally go a little crazy. Didn't he only go down to the catacombs 4 times? Yeah, but he usually fights with high-ranked powerhouses when he goes down to the catacombs. That's why his strength is relatively stronger." The few of them shut up. After a while, Li Fei said in a low voice, "Looks like we've been ignorant." Originally, if they had lost, it would have been hard for them to accept. However, today, from the beginning of the fight until now, they had not felt good. After a few big battles, they had already considered the outcome of losing. In addition, their opponents had also come over. They did not act very arrogant and savage. After chatting with them until now, they felt much better. At this moment, Xing Nanqi, who was the most devastated, was also chatting with Fang Ping as they walked. He seemed to be in a good mood. Thinking of this, the few of them felt better. They felt better, but when they thought of the 5 divine weapons, in the next moment, their expressions changed completely. If they really lost 5 divine weapons, it would be killing them. In the field, Fang Ping smiled as he walked. "Actually, I was only accumulating strength for 1/. Also, I'm not afraid to say this, Senior Brother Jing. Because I'm the representative of martial arts universities, MC Mayu has spent countless resources on me. They helped me forge golden bones in advance. That's why my strength is said to be peak rank 5. Actually, before this, the instructor said that I'm already comparable to upper stage rank 6. The reason I stayed at rank 5 is also to continue polishing for a while. You and I are considered to be at the same level. Moreover, I have the home advantage. Senior Brother Jing has the air of a gentleman, but I'm a little narrow-minded. After accumulating strength for so long, I purposely took advantage of you, Golden Bones." Xing Nanqi murmured. Then, he said bitterly, "Even if we're at the same level, I was still defeated by you in 1/." Fang Ping lowered his voice again, saying in a low voice, "Senior Brother Jing, believe it or not, I have no energy left now. My vitality is depleted. If we continue fighting, I'll be exposed. But MC Mayu students are here. Senior Brother Jing, can you save me some face?" Xing Nanqi shook his head. "A loss is a loss. I'm not a sore loser. It's just that, it doesn't feel good." However, seeing Fang Ping's pale face, avoiding the crowd and spitting out a mouthful of blood, Xing Nanqi felt much better. Sure enough, he had no energy left. If they continued fighting, he might not be a match for Fang Ping since he was not seriously injured. However, Fang Ping had held back earlier. He did not use his full strength in 1/. Moreover, Minister Wang had just announced the winner. If they continued fighting, it would be like bullying. As for losing, he, Xing Nanqi, could still afford to lose half a divine weapon. As he thought about it, Fang Ping said again, "If Senior Brother Jing doesn't mind, I can also teach everyone this method of accumulating strength. This is the purpose of martial arts sparring, not to determine victory or defeat. People like us are all fighting for the same goal. The purpose of sparring is to improve ourselves and find our own weaknesses. What do you think, Senior Brother Zhang? The method of accumulating strength." Xing Nanqi thought for a while and said, "Star City seems to have it too." Fang Ping's expression did not change. He smiled and said, "Mutual exchange, and mutual exchange is the foundation of martial arts progress. If Star City has it, Senior Brother Jing can also take it out and discuss it with us. Of course, if it's not convenient, then forget it. Everyone can look at MC Meiyu's combat technique room at will." Fang Ping said, then added, "Including some secret techniques and secret techniques. Although MC Meiyu has only been established for 61 years, there have been more than 10 grandmasters in these years. Senior Brother Jing, you know how difficult it is for people like us to cultivate. Powerhouses who can reach the grandmaster level are all amazing. The combat techniques they created, I'm not boasting, are not weak. Jing Nanchi was a little tempted, but he was also a little embarrassed. MC Mayu actually opened the combat technique room to them. Was this not appropriate? As for the competition, he did not care too much about it at this time. Fang Ping was right. The purpose of sparring was to improve oneself. Being overly obsessed with victory or defeat would instead defeat the original purpose. Although he had lost this time, he could use half a divine weapon to exchange for some secret techniques and combat techniques. If he could absorb some experience and enter peak rank 6, the rest was nothing. They were just worldly possessions. Junior brother Fang, isn't this a little inappropriate? What are you talking about, senior brother Jing? If it weren't for your ancestors protecting us humans, would we be where we are now? It's just some combat techniques. It's nothing. Then I'll thank junior brother Fang on behalf of everyone. As they spoke, the two of them had already reached the resting area. Coincidentally, they heard Jing Nanchi thanking Fang Ping. Qin Fengqing's face was blank. Was this big idiot really that easy to fool? He was defeated with one slash, yet he was still thanking someone. He had lost 5 divine weapons. If it were someone else, they would probably want to kill Fang Ping. This cold face was actually thanking him. What was he thinking? Not only was Qin Fengqing stunned, but everyone else was too. On the platform, Liu Mo looked helpless. After a while, he said, "Thank you for your generosity, everyone in MC Mayu, but forget about the combat techniques." Old Manly shook his head. "This has nothing to do with you. MC Mayu educates people and creates combat techniques for the sake of the world's heroes. Stars Town may have more and better combat techniques than us, but there's no harm in learning more. The combat techniques room will definitely be open to them. Not just the combat techniques room, they can go anywhere in MC Mayu's territory. The pressure room, the celestiality cultivation room, there won't be any obstacles for them." When Old Manly finished, he chuckled. Martial arts universities have no sectarian bias. All rivers run into the sea. This is what it means to spread martial arts all over the world. As he said this, Liu Mo felt even more bitter. "You're so insistent on giving us benefits. The point is, I really don't want to accept it. If I accept it, should I open Stars Town to you? If I don't, then I'm being petty and selfish. I can't believe I'm still hiding things when humanity is in danger. However, some things really could not be open to the public." Thinking of this, Liu Mo sighed. He would think about it later. At most, he would give MC Mayu some unimportant information and combat techniques to return the favor. The point was, he had lost 5 divine weapons, yet he still felt like he owed MC Mayu a favor. What the hell? Liu Mo felt terrible. He might as well not have come to MC Mayu this time. Chapter 466. The Resting Area. Chatting aside, the outcome had already been decided. The wager still had to be put on the agenda. 5 divine weapons. It was true that Li Fei and the others had powerful backgrounds, but divine weapons were not cabbages. Before they reached rank 7, each of them only had 1 divine weapon to defend themselves. When they reached rank 7, the elders might reward them a little more, but not too much. 1 for offense and 1 for defense was probably their limit. Now, they had lost 5 of them. This was not a matter of money. Divine weapons could be sold for money, but it was difficult to buy divine weapons with money. When Fang Ping and Jing Nanchi walked over, Qin Fengqing chuckled. "Fatty, shouldn't you take off your boots? Do you want me to get someone to buy you a pair of branded shoes?" Jiang Chao's expression stiffened. With a long face, he said, "Baldy, do you really want it? Why don't we make a deal?" "Jiang Chao!" Jing Nanchi growled, his expression ugly. "Don't embarrass Star City." Even if they lost, they had to lose with dignity. 5 rank SIXS losing to 5 rank 5s was already shameful. Now, Fatty wanted to renege on his debt. "What a disgrace," Jiang Chao said gloomily. "I'll pay the energy stones then. 10 people, according to the agreement. Fine, actually, they did not agree on the agreement because they never thought of losing. Still, they did say something in general. If they lost, those who did not have a divine weapon would have to compensate with the same amount of cultivation resources. As for who would pay the divine weapon and who would pay the resources, they did not discuss it before. Jiang Chao would rather pay the energy stones than the divine weapon. Actually, it was not just Jiang Chao. None of the 10 people present were willing to pay the divine weapon. For a moment, the atmosphere was a little stiff. Seeing this, Fang Ping gave Qin Fengqing a look. Qin Fengqing mumbled, "I don't care about the energy stones, Qin Fengqing." Fang Ping's expression changed. He shouted softly, then looked at everyone and smiled. "It's okay. It was just a joke." Qin Fengqing made his own decision. "How could we take it seriously?" As he said that, Fang Ping smiled. "Let's not talk about this first. We just finished the competition. Everyone is tired. I'll arrange for everyone to rest for a while. Also, since everyone is here, don't be in a hurry to leave. You can't just leave after a competition, can you?" In the afternoon, I showed everyone around, including our war mage room. Also, some of our instructors may not be stronger than everyone else, but they've been teaching in MCMAU for decades, so they still have plenty of basic experience. Although the seniors in Polaris City are strong, you're not here to teach students. Everyone can exchange some pointers. Qin Fengqing's face was full of displeasure, and he continued to mutter, "So this is just a joke?" Several grandmasters bear witness. "Qin Fengqing," Fang Ping said seriously, "do you want me to chase you away?" "Boring." Qin Fengqing got up and left after saying this. Jiang Chao said awkwardly, "Baldy, Qin Fengqing." Su Zisa blushed and called out to him. Li Fei, Jingnanqi, and the others all looked slightly upset. Jingnanqi was about to speak when Fang Ping interrupted. "Ignore him. Junior brother Fang." Jingnanqi also said seriously, "About the bet, don't worry, we will give you an explanation. Junior brother Qin is leaving now. Junior brother Fang, please help me tell him that when we're done discussing, we'll deliver the bet as promised." At this moment, everyone had not come to an agreement. Among the 10 of them, who would provide the divine weapon and who would provide the resources was not easy to discuss in front of everyone. However, things had come to this point. If they reneged on the debt, then Polaris City would lose all face. Fang Ping smiled. "Senior brother Jing, don't worry. How about this? Everyone go back to recuperate and recover from their injuries. We'll talk about the bet later." Having said that, Fang Ping turned around and looked at Qin Yunqi and the others who had just rushed over. "Yunqi, bring the seniors to rest. Help me arrange lunch. I won't be entertaining everyone at noon. Let's gather together at night." Jingnanqi and the others did indeed need to go back to discuss, so they did not stand on ceremony and left with Qin Yunqi and the others. On the stage, Liemo glanced at Fang Ping and the others before leaving. As soon as they left, Old Man Li appeared behind Fang Ping soundlessly and said softly, "They might not agree to give the divine weapon. Kid, I'm afraid your plan is in trouble. If Polaris City really gave them 50 billion worth of resources, would they still kill them?" Although MCMAU was also lacking in resources, they were not lacking now. What they needed now was the divine weapon that could increase their high-end combat strength. For the Grandmasters, the divine weapon was more important than the energy ores. With the divine weapon, their strength would increase, and they would be more secure in the catacombs. They could now go to some places that they could not go to before. MCMAU also knew the location of a few energy mines, but they could not snatch them before. However, now that everyone had the divine weapon in their hands and their strength had increased, they could snatch them. If they really gave the energy ores and other materials, it might seem like they were of equal value, but in reality, the difference was huge. Fang Ping smiled. "We'll see. In the afternoon. I'm going to bring them to the school archives and the southern cemetery for a look." As Fang Ping said that, he sighed softly. "I don't want to use the souls of MCMAU's instructors and students in exchange for sympathy. They died in the catacombs. They are heroes. Heroes don't need sympathy, and they don't need to show off their emotions. However, I don't want the few of you to die in front of me one day. The increase in strength is not something that can be done overnight. However, with the divine weapon in hand, your strength will increase exponentially. This is the fastest way to increase your strength. If everyone's spirits in heaven know that they can exchange 4 divine weapons for us, I think they will be willing. Old Man Lee's expression changed again and again. He gritted his teeth. We're still too weak. We're so weak that we shamelessly scheme, curry favor, and please them. The few of you, which one of you isn't a dragon among men but now? Old Man Lee did not feel good in his heart. Fang Ping, Qin Feng Qing, Wang Jin Yang, which one of them was not a prodigy of their generation? If they did not lack resources, backers, or backgrounds, why would they play games with a few ignorant children? Yes, they were playing games. Accompanying a group of children, teasing and having fun, and at the same time, seeing if they could swindle a few lollipops. This was the truth. Fang Ping chuckled. Instructor, why does it sound like we're the ones being wronged? We're duping people for their good stuff. They should be the ones being wrong. Your way of thinking is wrong. Old Man Lee sighed. It has nothing to do with them. I'm talking about us old geezers. Old Man Lee did not mention Star City. He was too lazy to talk about it. He was just a little indignant. To him, Fang Ping and the others were his children. Today, his own children were not living as well as other people's children. They were obviously much more outstanding than other people's children, but they had to shamelessly curry favor with them. As parents, how could they feel good? They could only blame themselves, the elders, for being too weak. Fang Ping chuckled. How old are you? How old are they? You're their grandson, but they think you're too young. They won't bring you out to play. Get lost. Old Man Lee cursed. He was just feeling a little sad, but this little bastard interrupted his emotions again. Cursing aside, Old Man Lee said, If we really can't get a divine weapon, then forget it. Now that old Wu and old Wang are about to get a divine weapon, we'll think about it later and get it ourselves. It's not easy to get a few big forbidden lands, but there are still some lone monsters in each catacombs. It's easy to get into trouble in one place. If they're scattered, then not many people will care. Kid, don't be too concerned. After all, other people's divine weapons were not forged and nurtured by themselves. In terms of compatibility, they can't compare to the divine weapons forged by themselves. If these kids really want to go back on their words, then forget it. Fang Ping nodded slightly. After thinking for a while, he said, Actually, compared to divine weapons, I'm more interested in some confidential information. The older generation of powerhouses in Star City are very shrewd. If you want to get information, it's better to talk to these people. That's true. They know a lot of things. Some things, they feel that there's no need to tell us, so they keep hiding it. Maybe they'll make it public sooner or later. But I think it's more reliable to know what they're doing. Fate should still be in our own hands. It's too pessimistic to put all our hopes in the hands of these peerless powerhouses. As Old Man Lee was speaking, Lu Fengru walked over and said coldly, If you have the time to talk nonsense, you should have entered rank 8 earlier. Then you wouldn't have embarrassed MCMAU every time. Liemo asked you to learn from each other. If you're capable, you should have beaten him into submission. You wouldn't have had to do this. The students have won glory, but when it comes to you, you've lost your face again. It was rare that Old Man Lee did not retort. He pursed his lips and said nothing. Lu Fengris saw this and humphed. Become a rank 8 earlier. Is a fake rank 8 very glorious? I'd rather you were a rank 7. The rank 7 martial artists dared to provoke you. The martial artists in Star City are only average. I know this, Liemo. He fought with my father before and was defeated by my father in 30 moves. Old Man Lee pursed his lips and said, I know. He fought with the old man and was defeated quickly too. Under the same rank, he's no match for us. Who's really afraid of him? Liemo had fought with the old vice-chancellor and illusion one after another. He was defeated both times. Lu Fengru and Old Man Li's ranks were much lower than his. Otherwise, they would not have fooled him. Unfortunately, these were all nonsense. It was a fact that the other party's rank was higher than theirs. They had to admit that their skills were inferior. Having said that, Old Man Li said again, "Old Wu and the others should be back soon, right? If Old Wu is back, if he's still in school, let Old Wu teach him a lesson. It'll be good to let him know that MC Mayu doesn't just rely on the juniors to gain face." Wu Quishan was not old either. He was about the same age as Old Man Li. He was a few years older, in his early 60s. Wu Quishan and Li Mo were both at the peak of grade 8. However, if they were to really fight, unless Li Mo had a grade 9 divine weapon, and an extremely powerful one at that, there was an 80% to 90% chance that he would be crushed by Wu Quishan. The reason why Old Man Li and Lu Fengru wanted to teach Li Mo a lesson was not because they wanted to win face. The key was to show MC Mayu's strength. Not just the juniors. Although MC Mayu did not have any peak-level powerhouses of the older generation or rank 9, the middle-high level powerhouses were not weak. After a few words, Old Man Li exhaled and said, "I'll go into closed-door cultivation again in a few days. This time, I won't come out until my mentality materializes." Old Man Li made up his mind. If his mentality did not materialize this time, he would not come out. He could not afford to lose face. He came out earlier because the grandmasters in the school had all left. Lu Fengru and Tang Feng were both in closed-door cultivation and were at a critical juncture. It was only appropriate for him to come out first. Lu Fengru nodded. She glanced at a certain place in the southern area. Her eyebrows moved slightly. Lion Tang is about to break through. His progress is very fast. He's under a lot of pressure. When Lu Fengru said this, she glanced at Fang Ping. It would be strange if Lion Tang was not under pressure. When he was almost invincible in rank 6, Fang Ping had just entered the school and was still an aspiring martial artist. In the end, he was still rank 6. Fang Ping was almost at the same rank as him. How could he not be under pressure? Moreover, Fang Ping, this kid, had already secretly told others that when they were at the same rank, he would beat him up. Big Lion had heard of this before. He did not take it seriously before, but now he could not ignore it. If he was really beaten up by Fang Ping, although Fang Ping might not do it, who could say for sure? If he was beaten up, would he, Tang Feng, still be shameless? At the side, Fang Ping listened for a while and laughed. "Instructors, cultivation can't be rushed. Don't be too stressed. When the Vice-Chancellor and the others return, Instructor Tang might have broken through too. When that time comes, we'll hold a Grandmaster banquet. 3 high Grandmasters holding a banquet together." Old Man Li exhaled. "I won't go without my mentality. If I do, I'll go. Then I'm afraid you won't be able to make it. It'll probably be held at the beginning of April. We'll see." Lu Fengru and Li Chanxing did not stay for long. Soon, Qing Fengqing ran back. This guy had eaten too many energy fruits. His body was still emitting energy. Fang Ping glanced at him and was a little speechless. "Aren't you afraid of bursting yourself? What's there to be afraid of?" Qing Fengqing looked indifferent. He asked hurriedly, "What do you mean?" "I'll see in the afternoon. Also," Fang Ping glanced at him and exhaled, "I'll pay my respects to your father in the afternoon." Qin Fengqing's cheeky smile faded. Then, he smiled again. "I should go and see, but to be honest, it's a little frustrating. You're weak. That's how it is," Fang Ping said softly. "I'm stronger than you, so you have to please me. If I'm happy, I'll give you some cultivation resources. If I'm not happy, I won't give it to you. That's my freedom. If I want to be strong, then I'll take it myself. Why should I please a guy who's weaker than me? If you feel insulted, no one will ask you to please him. Since you've stuck yourself to him, then you have to be prepared for this." "Are you talking about me or yourself?" Qin Fengqing teased. Fang Ping smiled. Why do you care who I'm talking about? At least I still control your fate. That's enough. Qin Fengqing's expression was ugly. He humphed. Don't forget. The bet was signed under my name. The thing should be mine. Fang Ping was stunned. Not bad. Big Baldy actually had an IQ. What he said was not wrong. The bet was signed under his name. Naturally, the thing belonged to him. Seeing Fang Ping's expression change again and again, Qin Fengqing was smug. He grinned. Fang Ping, the thing is mine. Whether I give it to you or not is my freedom. If you want to take it away, sure. Come, please your grandpa Qin. Fang Ping's expression was unfriendly. Fine. I'll give it to you. I'll help you advertise it. You, Qin Fengqing, have 50 billion resources and 5 divine weapons. What do you think? This time, it was Qin Fengqing's turn to look stiff. This bastard was still so black-hearted. Wang Jinyang and the rest were just watching from the side. As for what Qin Fengqing said about not giving it to Fang Ping, he was just saying it. If he dared not give it to him, Fang Ping would beat him to death. Even if Fang Ping did not beat him up, Old Manly and the rest could kick this guy to death. After joking around for a while, Wang Jinyang interrupted. I talked to them for a while. I learned something. As he said that, Wang Jinyang's expression turned serious. These people can go to the restricted area. Fang Ping's expression changed slightly. He nodded slightly. Vice-Chancellor Wu made this judgment before. Beside him, Qin Fengqing said blankly. Why didn't I know? Fang Ping and Wang Jinyang glanced at him at the same time. You idiot. You only know how to eat. What the hell do you know? Qin Fengqing was eating so much that his body was emitting energy. It was obvious that this guy had eaten a lot. Wang Jinyang said as they walked. They mentioned something. The World Youth Martial Arts Grand Prix is related to the restricted area. According to what they said, and my own guess, there should be restrictions on entering the restricted area. I'm not sure about the specific restrictions. The restricted area is full of danger. They can enter because the top powerhouses have some agreement with the powerhouses in the restricted area. You said before that the geniuses in the periphery have all entered the restricted area. No matter how talented they are, they still need to train. Say, do you think the goal of these catacombs geniuses is to train these human genius martial artists? Qin Fengqing said immediately. According to what you said, these geniuses are not that great. Doesn't that mean that one of them will die? Wang Jinyang glanced at him, speechless. He said impatiently, Didn't you hear what they were talking about? Jiang Chao is the second oldest in the family. He has an older brother above him. When the others talk about him, they all look at him with admiration. Obviously, they can't compare. Also, Li Fei is only the third oldest in the family. How strong are the two above him? Li Fei and the others are just greenhorns. They don't represent the strength of the geniuses in Stars City. They are only considered to have finished their apprenticeship at peak rank 6. Before that, you can think of them as martial arts university students who have not reached rank 3 and have not entered the catacombs. Are martial arts university students who have not reached rank 3 very strong? After experiencing some things and seeing some bloodshed, these people will grow up very quickly. Qin Fengqing, don't think that you're very strong. When they grow up a little, any one of them can kill you easily. Qin Fengqing humphed. There are many people who want to kill me. They're not qualified. Fang Ping could not be bothered with them. He interrupted. If that's the case, humans have actually opened up more than one battlefield. No, I should say that not only have they opened up battlefields in the periphery of the catacombs, but also in the restricted area? Yes. No wonder. Fang Ping thought for a while and said, Previously, the instructor said that the elder Li Fei and the others said that Commander Li came from Stars City. Now that I look at it, I understand a little. As he said that, Fang Ping cursed in a low voice. I knew that the higher-ups hid the news. They were so secretive before this. I don't know if the catacombs have a mutual attitude. They even said that Commander Lee had a guess because he discovered the aura of the catacombs powerhouses in the catacombs in the east. Now it seems that it's just an excuse. They already know everything, so they're just fooling us. Wang Jinyang said calmly. That's normal. So what if you know? You can't even solve Magic City's catacombs. What's the use of knowing all this? That makes sense. Fang Ping said and smiled. I discovered a problem in my cultivation. If it's solved, I might be able to enter rank 6 soon. Their expressions changed. Li Hansong said sheepishly, You're going to enter rank 6 just like that? Fang Ping smiled. It depends. When I performed that slash earlier, I realized something. I'm too reliant on celestiality. Before this, I realized that the state of essence, spirit, and soul that I achieved when I was at rank 3 and 4 seemed to have disappeared. When I performed that slash today, I realized the reason. Nowadays, I've always felt that celestiality is stronger than vitality, force, and mentality. This is also why I like to use celestiality to kill my enemies when I face them. In reality, celestiality is just a temporary power that I borrow, so everyone must be vigilant. This kind of power may improve our abilities, but it's also hindering our fundamentals. As soon as he said that, the others nodded slightly. Qin Fengqing, however, scolded. I don't have any external power. What does it have to do with me? What a provocative remark. Fan Ping's discovery of this problem served as a wake-up call for Wang Jinyang and the rest. Although Wang Jinyang's bone marrow force, Li Hansong's golden body force, and Yao Qingjuan's mentality were currently very strong, they were slightly reliant on them. Instead, they had neglected the fundamental vitality force a lot. However, this matter had nothing to do with Qin Fengqing. He could not even be envious. What was the point of saying that? Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. After he finished speaking, he smiled and said, After I'm done with this, my essence, spirit, and soul will be unified. If I perform hundreds or thousands of slashes, maybe I'll be rank 6. Everyone exhaled. The pressure was huge. Not to mention these fellows from Star Town, Fang Ping was younger than them. If he were to be the first to enter rank 6, it would not feel good. At that moment, the few of them lost the interest to continue chatting. Chapter 467. In the afternoon. School archives. Even Liemo, who had come to the MCMAU History Hall for the first time, was completely silent when he saw the rows of memorial tablets that could barely fit in the hall. Li Fei and the others who came along had extremely solemn expressions on their faces. Fang Ping had been here once before, but he had not been here since. At this moment, Fang Ping was neither dejected nor sad. There was still a faint smile on his face as he said, This is MCMAU's most dazzling medal. The blood and lives of generations of MCMAU people had forged the MCMAU of today. Perhaps MCMAU's strength and history are not as good as Star City's, but MCMAU's spirit will not be weaker than any other place. Fang Ping smiled and said, Let's go. The reason why I brought all of you here today is to let everyone understand that everything MCMAU instructors and students do is not for personal gain. Xing Nanqi and the others might not have understood, but Liemo did. Fang Ping was probably explaining about the bet. Even though both sides had agreed to the bet, MCMAU's strength was weak, so some things had to be considered carefully. At the side of the crowd, Qin Fengqing stared at a memorial tablet for a long time. That was his father's memorial tablet. A complicated look flashed across his eyes, and he glanced at the old principal's memorial tablet in front of him. Qin Fengqing felt slightly sad. Very quickly, Qin Fengqing concealed these emotions and suddenly grabbed the fatty, Jiang Chao, and threatened him in a low voice. This is my father. If you don't give me the divine weapon, I'll get my father to look for you tonight. Jiang Chao was about to cry. Damn it, how could he threaten people like that? This Baldy was too ferocious. On the other side, a few females from the exchange team were rather sad and pitiful. It turned out that the Baldy's father had also died in battle. Over the years, many people had died in battle in Star Town. However, Star Town wasn't that big, so the number of casualties was only relative. Furthermore, each family had their own clan, so if they were to split it evenly, there wouldn't be much left for each family. It was a far cry from MC Mayu, where thousands of memorial tablets were fully arranged. Xingnanqi and the rest couldn't help but glance at Liemo. According to the opinion of these juniors, if they lost, they should just hand over the divine weapon. Although they were somewhat reluctant to part with it, they did not have a deep understanding of the concept and value of divine weapons. However, Liemo knew that divine weapons were hard to come by. Although the patriarchs were powerful, they could not casually slaughter those Tier 7 and 8 demonic beasts. If they killed too many, an all-out war would break out. Because of this, although there were some divine weapons in the city, they were accumulated over many years. 5 divine weapons was not a small number for star-suppressing city. In his opinion, he would rather give the energy stones than the divine weapon. But now, MC Mayu had brought them here. Their intentions were very clear. They wanted to increase their high-end combat strength, and divine weapons were the best way to do so. Grandpa Li, Su Zissa whispered. Jiang Xian and the other 2 girls couldn't help but look at Liemo. Liemo lamented in his heart. A bunch of foolish children. Do you understand that once you lose your divine weapon, you won't have another chance to get it back? Without divine weapons, when you reach rank 7, your combat strength will be a notch lower than others. Liemo remained silent for a moment before he finally sighed and said, If you're willing to bet, you must be willing to lose. My suppressing Star City's martial artists aren't people who go back on their words. The 5 divine weapons can be given to you. Qin Fengqing hurriedly said. Can I choose myself? Liemo glared at him fiercely. Kid, don't go too far. The 10 divine weapons were not all of the same rank. Of course, they were all forged from the cores of rank 7 monster plants. But there were strong and weak rank 7 too. Early stage, middle stage, high stage, and peak rank 7 were divided into 4 small stages. The strength of the core and the brain core was also different, and the value of the divine weapons forged were also different. If it was given to MC Mayu, it would naturally be 5 early stage rank 7 divine weapons. Now that Qin Fengqing wanted to choose himself, things were different. Seeing the old man glaring at him, Qin Fengqing was a little embarrassed. I'm not using them, why are you glaring at me? At this time, Fang Ping added with a smile. Qin Fengqing, the bet didn't specify what kind of divine weapon. Since Brother Jing and the others have already decided, you should stop being so picky. Qin Fengqing mumbled. The problem is that I don't really need them. Old Jing's boxing gloves are not bad, old Li's broadsword is also pretty good, and Jiang Xian's sword is quite beautiful. Cough, cough. Fang Ping coughed softly and frowned. All right, why are you talking so much? According to Fang Ping's plan, on MC Mayu's side, Old Manly and Lu Pola both used swords. He would need 2 swords. Xingnanqi's boxing gloves were the most suitable for Tang Feng. Lu Fengru also used fists. However, Lu Fengru's main combat technique was a little complicated and was not as specialized as Tang Feng's. She could also use a saber. As for divine weapons like the boots, they were not purely support-type divine weapons. They could also be used in battle, but compared to these specialized weapons, they were slightly weaker in terms of raising one's battle prowess. As for CCMAU's side, he could just give it to him casually. Li Han Song did not even win. If Fang Ping gave it to him, it would be too eye-catching. After Qin Fengqing finished speaking, Xingnanqi suddenly gritted his teeth and said, Since junior brother Qin likes boxing gloves, then count my boxing gloves as one of them. Originally, he had already made an agreement with the others that he would compensate them with resources if they sent out divine weapons. He was in upper stage rank 6, the closest to rank 7. He might be the first person to truly unleash the power of a divine weapon. But since Qin Fengqing mentioned it, he didn't want to say anything else. Xingnanqi's words nearly infuriated Liemo to death. This little bastard, did he not know the difference between them? Xingnaqi's boxing gloves were made from a middle-stage rank 7 monster's heart core and brain core. Moreover, the creation of boxing gloves was more difficult than regular sabers and swords. It was already good enough that he gave it to MC Mayu, but he actually wanted to give out the good stuff. Xingnaji said. Li Fei's expression changed a little, and he said in a muffled voice, "My saber counts as 1. Jiang Xian, on the other hand, did not hesitate too much. Everyone had discussed it. Her sword was one of the weapons. Seeing the situation, she said, "The Kunwu sword counts as 1. The Scorching Sun spear counts as 1. At this moment, another person spoke up. In the end, everyone looked at Jiang Chao. Jiang Chao looked helpless and muttered, "My boots are middle stage rank 7. Do you guys know how to do accounting? Why are you looking at me?" These guys always had their eyes on his boots. Were they stupid? Mine is middle stage rank 7. Can't you guys exchange it for an early stage 1? Among them, there were a total of 3 middle stage rank 7 divine weapons. Xingnaqi's, Jiang Chao's, and Su Zisu's. Now, Xingnaji had contributed his boxing gloves, and Su Zisu was willing to pay. Logically speaking, they should not be eyeing him anymore. Su Zisu muttered, "You don't even fight. There's no point in keeping it." Originally, Jiang Chao's boots were in their plan. Although his boots were of a slightly higher grade, the difference between early stage and middle stage was not too big. It was not a main combat weapon, and Jiang Chao was a lazy guy. Everyone felt that there was no point in him having a divine weapon. Jiang Chao's expression was gloomy. After a while he said, "Then I'll have my Windchaser boots." Actually, Fang Ping did not really want the boots. However, seeing that Li Mo and the others had no objections, if he continued to be picky, it might really turn out to be a failure. Moreover, Qin Fengqing had already said that he wanted the boots. It would not be good to change his mind now. He gave Qin Fengqing a slight look. Qin Fengqing chuckled and said, "All right then, I'll take these. You guys are very generous. I, Qin Fengqing, like you guys." Qin Fengqing grinned from ear to ear, patting Jiang Chao with all his might. His expression was that of a loyal brother. Since things had come to this, Li Mo said no more. Xingnaji and the others took off their divine weapons and handed them to Qin Fengqing. Jiang Chao stared at his boots for a while, then took them off with a long face and tossed them to Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing did not mind. This kind of divine weapon was a mixture of illusion and reality. In the hands of these fellows, it looked no different from ordinary alloy weapons, but in reality, it had many more effects. No matter how smelly a fatty's feet were, they could not leave marks and stink on the boots. Qin Fengqing kept hugging the divine weapon. Fan Ping did not take it, but continued to show everyone around. When they reached the combat techniques room, although these people had seen countless combat techniques in Stellar Sky City, many of MC Mayu's combat techniques were unique. A few of them were interested, including Li Mo, who took a few more glances. Seeing that these people were looking at the combat techniques, Fang Ping quietly retreated and quickly walked out of the combat techniques room. "Give it to me!" Fang Ping glared at Qin Fengqing. "What do you want, kid?" Qin Fengqing's face was filled with reluctance. 5 divine weapons. It hasn't even warmed up yet. Give me 1 caddy of energy stones. You lost. Fatty Jiang has also left the stage. Qin Fengqing felt a little uncomfortable. According to the previous agreement, he had lost. Other than an A-grade weapon, he would get nothing. After saying that, Qin Fengqing continued. Tai Tu didn't win, and neither did Old Wang. Why deduct mine? Qin Fengqing felt a little wronged. My realm is the lowest. Isn't it normal that I didn't win? Besides, I've been acting with you for so long. Even if I don't have any credit, I've put in a lot of effort. Why do you want to deduct my points? Beside him, Old Manly did not know whether to laugh or cry. Why don't we just let him go? Fang Ping rubbed his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. How much good stuff has he wasted? Not long ago, He spent 6 caddies of energy stones and swallowed dozens of energy fruits this morning. Once the energy stones are in his hands, they'll be gone in no time. Qin Fengqing said dryly. I didn't spend as much as you did, right? Fang Ping was speechless. How many energy stones have I spent? Wasn't there no other way last time? Rubbing his temples, Fang Ping scribbled a note and tossed it to him. He said with some annoyance. Middle stage rank 5 is definitely enough. If you spend all these and haven't reached middle stage rank 5, MC Mayu won't support a gold-swallowing beast like you. Go where you should go. Then why did you mess with my job search? Qin Fengqing continued to mutter. Fang Ping gritted his teeth. Who said I messed up? I can't wait for you to get lost. As he said that, he humphed again. If you're so capable, go somewhere else and ask them to give you a few caddies of energy stones. I don't even have a few grams. Qin Fengqing did not say anything. Fang Ping was right. Fang Ping was too lazy to say anything more. He snatched a few divine weapons and glanced at Li Hansong beside him. After some thought, he said, I want to keep the boxing gloves, saber, and sword. You choose between the boots and the long spear. Li Hansong did not think much and took the long spear. Divine weapons like the boots were not very suitable for martial artists who specialized in combat. Fang Ping saw that he had made his choice. He held the remaining 4 divine weapons and said, Instructors, although we're a family behind closed doors, we're like brothers. This time, consider these 4 divine weapons as a loan from me to MC Mayu. Of course, to be able to get the divine weapons this time, I've also borrowed MC Mayu's power. However, I'll loan the divine weapons to MC Mayu. Consider it as offsetting this point. What do you think, instructors? Old Manly said impatiently. What's the point of all this nonsense? If you want to borrow them, then just borrow them. You talk too much nonsense. Lu Fengre nodded slightly and said nothing. Fang Ping saw that and breathed a sigh of relief. He suddenly laughed. Then, the ownership of these 4 divine weapons is mine. Having said that, Fang Ping handed the Changdao to Lu Fengru and said, Instructor, this is for you. The boxing gloves are actually better, but Instructor Tang is more suitable. Lu Fengru did not say anything. She took the Changdao and swung it a little. A strong mentality wave erupted from the Changdao. After a moment, the Changdao flashed and disappeared in front of Lu Fengru. Old Manly watched eagerly. In the end, when he saw Fang Ping handing over the boots, he was instantly annoyed. I want the sword. Leave the sword for Vice-Chancellor Lu. Get lost. Old Manly swore loudly. I'm the one who uses the sword. Lu Pola used a sword too, but could Lu Pola compare to him? Fang Ping sighed. You can't afford to keep the divine weapon. When the sword is in your hand, it's almost the same as an alloy sword. Use the boots first. When we're stronger later, we'll go kill a rank 8 monster beast and tailor a new longevity sword for you. It'll be much better than this junk, right? When Old Manly heard that, he felt a little gloomy. He took the boots reluctantly. However, if he could really get his hands on a rank 8 divine weapon and forge his own longevity sword, it would indeed be stronger than this early stage rank 7 sword. Fang Ping did not say anything more. He picked up 2 bags filled with energy stones from the side and tossed them to Wang Jinyang and Yao Qingjun. He smiled and said, These are yours. If the few of you have nothing to do, don't be in a hurry to leave. You can go to MC Mayu's combat technique room and take a look. Those people were all over there, and they could exchange martial arts with each other. After all, there are many peak-level 9th grade powerhouses in Suppressing Star City. Naturally, they have their own unique points. There's no harm in having an exchange. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Wang Jinyang simply picked up the energy stone and turned to leave. Yao Qingjun followed suit. Li Hansong said, I'm going back to CC Mayu first. Tell me if you've gained anything. Now that I'm back at CC Mayu, I should be charging towards rank 6. Up to you. Fang Ping nodded. Seeing this, Li Hansong wrapped the long spear in a piece of cloth and left immediately. After they left, Lu Fengru stood up and said, "I'm going back to temper my divine weapon. I'll leave this to Li Changxing. Don't bother me if there's nothing important." After saying that, Lu Fengru left as well. Old man Li's mentality had not materialized, so there was no need to hone it. Fan Ping did not care about that anymore. Instead, he glanced at the data on the interface. Wealth 95. 7 billion, converted, vitality, 5,999 calories, 5,999 calories, mentality, 899 Hz, 899 Hz, bones honed 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90%, storage space, 32 cubic meters, plus energy shield. 10,000 wealth/minute. The 4 god weapons had increased his wealth by 44 billion. 2 early stage rank 7 and 2 middle stage rank 7. 10 billion for early stage and 12 billion for middle stage. The value given by the system was still relatively high. Previously, Fan Ping thought that 4 divine weapons might not be worth 40 billion. Looking at it now, the value of divine weapons was indeed relatively high. It had not been reduced. 3 billion more. It's not that far from the 100 billion mark. Fan Ping thought about it and suddenly felt a headache coming on. Although it was not big, more than 4 billion was not small either. If the divine weapon from CCMAU was counted on him, that would be enough. However, if he did not give it to CCMAU, the pressure on MCMAU would still be slightly higher. Although these people had given the items rather readily today, MCMAU had monopolized it. If there was any trouble, the others would probably just sit back and watch. Now that CCMAU was involved, it could be considered as a united front for martial arts universities. Although there's still a gap, it's already considered not bad. It's only more than 4 billion. It's better than not seeing any hope before. If I go to the catacombs again, I can't go for now. I wonder if there's any hope for the company. Fan Ping calculated in his heart for a while. Now that he thought about it, the current him was really rich and imposing. Currently, he still had 1.78 million credits left. MCMAU owed him more, 10 billion energy stones and 4 divine weapons. Even if the credits depreciated, at the moment, 20,000 per credit was still worth it. Adding it all together, his net worth was almost 100 billion. However, things from MCMAU, unless he really needed it urgently, it would be useless even if he wanted it. My wealth hasn't reached 100 billion yet. When it reaches 100 billion, the storage space will have to expand a little. Right now, I can barely store rank 7 monster corpses. I might not be able to store rank 8 corpses. 100 billion is only 200 cubic meters of storage space. It sounded like 100 billion was a lot. In fact, Fan Ping calculated. How could he store rank 9 monster plants with more than 200 cubic meters? It could not be stored at all. At the thought of this, Fan Ping did not think too much about his wealth. While Jiang Chao and the others had not left, he still had to get close to them. This time, it was not for resources. He did not need it for now. He still needed some information. Other than that, it was the matter of preparing to break through rank 6. Earn about 5 billion more wealth, obtain some necessary information, break through rank 6. Chapter 468. In the next 2 days, Li Fei and the others did not leave but stayed in MCMAU. In these 2 days, these people also began to consult MCMAU instructors with questions and doubts about cultivation. Although there were powerhouses at home and in Star Town who were stronger than MCMAU, the closer the relationship was, the more inappropriate it was to ask questions. There were many geniuses in Star Town. Some geniuses understood, but others did not. For the sake of their reputation, they had to pretend they did. When they arrived at MCMAU, these people had less scruples, and the questions they asked came one after another. Seeing this scene, Liamo did not know whether to be happy or sad. Maybe Star Town really needed to have more contact with the outside world and communicate. An open martial arts school like the Martial Arts University should also let some of Star Town's young people study there. In these 2 days, Fan Ping also spared no effort. In order to let these people forget the unhappiness of losing the divine weapon, Fan Ping served them well and arranged for a group of instructors to teach these people, opening all areas of MCMAU to them. Pudgy Jiang liked crowds. Coincidentally, MCMAU was holding a Rank 2 martial arts competition, so Fan Ping specially asked someone to bring Pudgy Jiang to be a judge. Li Fei and Jing Nanqi wanted to find an instructor to practice with, so Fan Ping also asked a few Rank 6 instructors to accompany them. In these 2 days, everyone became much closer. Fan Ping was busy, but someone was not in a good mood. March 22nd. When Fan Ping returned to the Martial Arts Society to rest for a while, he saw Qin Yunqi pacing around. He could not help but smile bitterly. "What's wrong?" Qin Yunqi bit her lip and did not say a word. Fan Ping thought for a while and laughed. "Is it because I've been building a good relationship with those people these 2 days? There are girls around, so you have some thoughts?" "No," Chen Yunqi denied immediately. Fan Ping glanced at her. She did not seem to be jealous. If that was not the case, then why was she in a bad mood? Fan Ping was slightly suspicious. Qin Yunqi bit her lip and struggled for a moment. Suddenly she said, "I just feel bad." Qin Yunqi was a little emotional. She said gloomily, "The Fan Ping I know is not afraid of anything. He's not afraid of power. He's arrogant deep down. But now, you have no choice but to bow down to them." The Fan Ping she knew was not like this. However, she knew that Fan Ping was not lowering his head for her sake. Fan Ping, who was once regarded as a selfish person, was now lowering his head to some of his peers for MC Mayu. He was always at their beck and call, welcoming them with a smile on his face. It was not that Fan Ping was not as good as them. Even if Fan Ping was not as good as them, he would not submit to them for his own sake. But now, for the past 2 days, Qin Yunqi had seen it all and felt terrible. A man like him should laugh at an official and a proud marquis. Fan Ping could not help but laugh. He chuckled and said, "What's wrong? All of you are actually feeling sorry for me." Teacher Li said that he felt bad for me. He felt that it shouldn't be like this. You also said that you felt bad and that I shouldn't have done this. But in reality, I'm just a rank 5 martial artist. Fan Ping chuckled. Do you guys really take me seriously? Did I brag too much? Do you guys really think that Fan Ping's face is more valuable than a rank 9 paragon's face? Or do you think that I can even look down on a 9th grade paragon? Silly girl, you'd rather take what's straight than seek what's crooked. That's a pinnacle figure. You and I are both inferior. At this moment, we don't have that qualification yet. Someone could even accept the humiliation of being under my crotch. At least I'm not like that, right? Jiang Chao and the rest didn't take the initiative to ask me to do anything either. It's because I have a request, that's why they fawn over me and fawn over me. Everyone just takes what they need. I'm not as noble as you guys think. Have you forgotten that we weren't that close back then? How did we get to know each other? You're rich. If I fawn over you more, I might be able to sell more pills. Besides, you're a fool with a lot of money. At that time, it was hard for me to bluff you. Qin Yunqi snickered and immediately covered it up. I'm not a fool. Fan Ping laughed. All right, if you say that you're not a fool, then I'll pretend that you're not. As he said that, Fan Ping continued, I'm a mercenary. What I care more about are the actual benefits, not the momentary face. Can face be eaten? Can face make me stronger? I'll only have face when I'm strong, not when I have face, I'll be strong. Do you understand? Qin Yunqi listened for a while, then pursed her lips and said, I still feel uncomfortable. I just feel that it's not worth it for you. Fan Ping, why don't we beat them up when we're stronger? Fan Ping's head hurt. Why did she have such an idea? Qin Yunqi thought for a while and said, Why don't we wait for them to leave, and we secretly beat them up halfway. Yunqi, there's something wrong with your values, Fang Ping said earnestly. Did they offend us? They came to MCMAU and lost 5 divine weapons. They haven't beaten us up yet. Why do you want to beat them up? Your face is worth 5 divine weapons, and it's more than that. Qin Yunqi looked serious. Anyway, that was what she thought. Fang Ping's head hurt. This girl's perception was so scary. I, Fang Ping, have such a big face. I'll just rely on my face to make a living every day. 5 divine weapons for a meal. It's not a problem for you to step on me a few times. While feeling helpless, Fang Ping said helplessly. They have 10 rank SIXS and a rank 8 protecting them. I can't beat them up. Then I'll beat them up again in the future. Qin Yunqi was very persistent. She thought for a while and said, then I'll go cultivate. I'm almost middle stage rank 4. When I'm stronger than them one day, I'll help you beat them up. Fang Ping did not know what expression to use. He rubbed his cheeks, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Okay, then I'll wait for you to beat them up, then I'll cheer for you. Qin Yunqi nodded heavily, then walked away with a determined look on her face. She was going to cultivate. After eating a few hundred honing fruits, not only had her 5 viscera honed, but she had also built 4 of the 5 celestial bridges. She was only 1 step away from entering middle stage rank 4. When she reached middle stage rank 4, because the 100 honing fruits had honed her internal organs in advance, her cultivation in middle stage and upper stage rank 4 would be faster. Moreover, Qin Yunqi had specially called Qin Yaoting, saying that his precious granddaughter wanted a lot of 100 honing fruits. As for how the old man was going to get them, Qin Yunqi did not think about it for now. In any case, these 2 days she felt that Fang Ping was being bullied. As for the fact that Fang Ping had tricked them into giving him 5 divine weapons, the girl had completely forgotten about it. Qin Yunqi went to cultivate in high spirits, and Fang Ping was ready to get down to business. He did not have too much time to build a relationship with Jiang Chao and the others. He could ask what he wanted to ask now. If the other party really did not want to say, then there was nothing he could do. At most, he would not ask. MC Mayu Cafeteria, 2nd floor. Today, Qin Fengqing was treating. This guy only invited 2 people today, Jiang Chao and Su Zisu. Fang Ping was just a guest. Qin Fengqing was the host. These 2 days, Fang Ping was busy, and so was Qin Fengqing. Jiang Chao and Su Zisu's energy fruits were all tricked out by him. After eating their energy fruits, he asked Fang Ping for some cash and brought Pudgy Jiang out to eat and drink to their heart's content. Jiang Chao, on the other hand, was enjoying himself. He did not even consider the price-performance ratio of 1 energy fruit, which could be used for more than 10 meals. In a private room on the 2nd floor, Qin Fengqing said generously, "Today, we'll eat something really good. Rank 7 dog meat. I hunted this thing in the catacombs myself. It's definitely fresh." Baldy, you're still bragging? These 2 days, Jiang Chao had hooked up with him, the kind of scoundrel friends. When he heard this, he said disdainfully, "Do you really think I don't know anything? Fang Ping was the one who brought back MCMAU's monster, okay." Qin Fengqing glanced at Fang Ping and said carelessly, "What do you know? Ask Fang Ping if I was the one who brought everyone to kill monsters. He was the one who led the way. As for whether he was the one who killed it, that was not the most important thing." Jiang Chao continued to look down on him, but he was still a little greedy. He said, "Stop talking nonsense. Serve the food. Rank 7 monster. I haven't eaten it many times." He had eaten it before, but there were not many times when he killed monsters in Star Town. The few ancestors came back once every few years. It was not reliable to expect the ancestors to kill monsters and bring them back to eat. As for the others, they did not bring back many times after killing monsters. Fang Ping heard this and laughed. "Brother Jiang, does this mean that the powerhouses of Star Town will also go into the catacombs to hunt?" Jiang Chao said nothing. After waiting for a while, When the dog meat was served, he quickly took a bite, his face showing a satisfied expression. Beside him, Su Zizou also took a piece and took a bite. Seeing Fang Ping looking at her with a smile, she blushed a little and said embarrassedly, "That grandfatherly said that we can't talk about Star Town casually." At this time, Jiang Chao also laughed and said, "Fang Ping, these few days we've also learned about your situation in detail. Anyway, we've guessed some things, but there's no point in talking about it. Just treat it as gaining some life experience. However, it's not that we don't want to talk about some things, it's just that it's really hard to say." Fang Ping did not care. Whatever he guessed, it was nothing more than the previous bet. Qin Fengqing was a poor bastard. With a little understanding, he knew that he could not afford 50 billion. Hearing Jiang Chao say this, Fang Ping laughed. "Brother Jiang, do you think that I, Fang Ping, am a member of an evil sect? Of course not. I'm a catacombs martial artist? How is that possible? If that's the case, let me ask you again, Brother Jiang. How am I, Fang Ping, compared to the geniuses in Star Town?" Jiang Chao scratched his head and said dryly, "That? You're pretty amazing. I heard that you've condensed a golden bone and your mentality is also very strong. Maybe you can achieve rank 7 earlier than Li Fei and the others." Fang Ping smiled and said, "Now that the situation in the catacombs is worsening, others may not have the right to know about this. But I, Fang Ping, believe that I am still qualified to know about this, and I also have the ability and the courage to bear all of this. The purpose of Star Town is not to hide secrets for the sake of hiding. It's nothing more than to prevent panic, or to let martial artists who don't have the ability to know about all of this and feel despair know about it. Do you agree with what I said, Brother Jiang?" Jiang Chao thought for a while and nodded. "If that's the case, I want to understand more things, to contribute more to humanity, to Sino Nation. The key is, I want MCMAU to have fewer people die. I don't want to add anything else to the school archives and the Southern Cemetery. At this time, Brother Jiang, are you not willing to tell me anything?" Jiang Chao said in distress. "Fang Ping, aren't you making things difficult for me?" "Fatty!" Qin Fengqing, who was at the side, suddenly shouted, scolding. "I asked you something, why are you babbling and evading? If you don't say, I don't say, no one says, who will know that you told us? Little Su, if he doesn't say, you say it. This damn fatty is not a man. Little Su, can you bear to see more of us die?" Su Zizou glanced at Jiang Chao, a little conflicted. After a while, she said, "Then you guys, don't ask too much, I actually don't know much." Jiang Chao wanted to say something but stopped. In the end, he did not utter a word, but began to eat like crazy. He would eat first and talk later. He would pretend that he did not hear anything. Fang Ping's eyes revealed a smile, and he said, "How many rank 9 Paragon old ancestors are there in Star Town?" "Ah?" Su Zizou was conflicted at once. After dilly-dallying for a while, she said, "There are 13 families in Star Town. There should be 13 old ancestors. But 2 years ago, old ancestor Yang seemed to have fallen. I don't know if that's the case. Anyway, at that time, Jingjing's family was crying and sad for many days. In the city, the other elders were also very sad. Later, Grandpa said that something happened to old ancestor Yang." Su Zizou's words were vague, but Jiang Chao knew a little more. He said vaguely, "He fell. I heard that old ancestor Yang went to the bounded zone, wanting to cross over. I don't know if he was ambushed by the powerhouses of the Forbidden Sea or something else happened, but he fell in the bounded zone. Anyway, it was not done by the people of the restricted zone, because when old ancestor Yang fell, no one knew. Later, when the restricted zone attacked, Star Town only knew that old ancestor had fallen. However, the restricted zone found out before us. At that time, the people of the restricted zone seized the opportunity. Without anyone guarding the passageway, many people came out and attacked Sky South City in one fell swoop." Fang Ping's pupils shrank, and he said in a low voice, "The Forbidden Sea is the sea in the south, isn't it? The Forbidden Sea can cause powerhouses to fall?" The Forbidden Sea is actually the most dangerous place, even more dangerous than the restricted zone, Jiang Chao said with a straight face. I don't know the specifics, but I heard from my pervert once that don't enter the Forbidden Sea. You can still live if you go to the restricted zone, but if you go to the Forbidden Sea, you will definitely die. Mount Imperial Sea. Actually, it was built to resist the expansion of the Forbidden Sea. Didn't I say it before? Mount Imperial Sea is man-made. It's very, very big, unimaginably big. It runs through the north, south, east, and west territories, surrounding the restricted zone. These old ancestors are all at Mount Imperial Sea? Yes, the old ancestors are guarding the passageways, not allowing the powerhouses of the restricted zone to enter and leave the territories at will. It's not just here, there are also some powerhouses from other countries guarding the passageways, blocking the powerhouses of the restricted zone. However, both sides are restraining each other. As he said that, Jiang Chao thought for a while and said, however, there is some trouble on our side now. Right now, we don't have enough strength to guard the 108 territories. Logically speaking, 108 powerhouses are needed to suppress it. But now, there are not that many powerhouses in the world. Not only that, but there seems to be a lot of powerhouses, and there shouldn't be that many powerhouses. Therefore, every time a passageway is opened, it means that the danger increases. Because we can't guard it all, it's fine if we don't open the passageway. If we open it and the enemy attacks, they can enter Earth directly. It's also very troublesome for the old ancestors to cross boundaries. Old ancestor Yang died when he crossed boundaries. Now many old ancestors are suppressing a few territories on their own. Jiang Chao was still narrating, but Fang Ping was shocked. There were still 12 old ancestors in Star Town. 12 peerless experts. A powerhouse suppressing a territory. No, these 12 powerhouses currently suppress 23 territories in Sino Nation, maybe 24 territories. Fan Ping suddenly thought of something and said, right now, there are still 4 powerhouses on the surface. Jiang Chao shook his head and said, there aren't that many. Commander Li broke through later. He was also from Star Town before, but he wasn't among the old ancestors. Later on, he also became independent. However, the Shin family's old ancestor is actually Shin Haotian, the guardian of the north. He's actually not a modern person. Also, the guardian of the east, Qin Gang, is the Qin family's old ancestor. Really, only Minister Zhang Tao of the Ministry of Education is a true powerhouse who rose from the outside world. He's not very old either, about the same age as Commander Li. Commander Li's family has now moved out of Star Town. He and Minister Zhang are both modern people. I'm talking about the kind who are not even 100 years old. The other old ancestors are already very old. Fan Ping was shocked once again. Out of the 4 old guardians, 2 of them were actually ancient people. Yes, ancient people. According to what Old Man Li had told him before, these old ancestors were at least a few hundred years old. If that was the case, Wu Chuan was not too embarrassing. 4 old guardians, 2 of them were at the peak. They were not from the same era at all. In this way, there were 14 powerhouses in Sino Nation, which was much more than what he had imagined. 14 powerhouses suppressing 24 territories? Chapter 469. It should be a top secret that there were 14 peerless powerhouses in China. The average rank 9 powerhouse might not even know about it. Fang Ping thought for a while and asked, is Star City the only place in Sino Nation that has a paragon? I think so. Su Zisi shook her head and said, I've never heard of such a place, and no one from other places has ever come into contact with us. What I'm saying is that places like Polaris don't exist in the Huan Nation, but they do exist overseas. Is it a lot? Not many. I only know 1 or 2 places. I'm not too familiar with them. They don't seem to be as strong as ours. Logically speaking, other countries can't suppress the catacombs, they're restraining each other. Su Zisi explained. In any case, people at the pinnacle usually don't dare to fight. It's just that you scare me and I scare you. But sometimes, the balance can be broken. Jiang Chao continued. Just like Patriarch Yang's death, the balance was broken. At this time, the other patriarchs did not dare to leave the guarding area without permission, so Tiannan's catacombs were breached. The catacombs don't have any paragons either, but they have more rank 9s than us, so we can't defend them. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows and said, You said that paragon has been pinned down, but I heard that Commander Li and Minister Zhang have fought before, including the battle in the capital city catacombs not long ago. As Jiang Chao ate the dog meat, he said, These few years. How do I put it? Probing attacks. Also, forget it, I won't say any more. Qin Fengqing took the dog meat in front of him and said through gritted teeth, Fatty, are you keeping us in suspense? Damn it, if you dare to stop halfway through, I'll chop you up. Jiang Chao rolled his eyes. Do you think I'll be afraid just because you won't let me eat dog meat? All right, I'll give you face and eat a few more pieces. Jiang Chao snatched a few more pieces and whispered, This is really a top secret. You must never tell anyone. Even I overheard it unintentionally. My pervert was talking to the old man, and I left a tape recorder at their place. I only found out about it later. Jiang Chao. Su Zis's voice sharpened. You eavesdropped on Brother Jiang and Uncle Zhang's conversation? Jiang Chao said indifferently. It's none of your business. I'm happy. Su Zisu's face suddenly turned serious. Eavesdropping. Don't say anything. Jiang Chao grinned and said, I have to say it, and I just want to say it. I won't feel satisfied if I don't say it. Your brother Jiang is unhappy, and he also wants to make others unhappy. As Jiang Chao spoke, he sighed and said, Humanity is almost finished. They all looked at him, but no one said anything. It's really, really over. In the past, our elder ancestor could defend it because the catacombs restricted area was divided into two factions, the Monster Lives faction and the Monster Plants faction. These two factions were actually at odds with each other. Many years ago, they had waged war against each other and fought for a very long time. The ones who want to invade Earth are actually the Monster Plant sect. The Monster Plant sect calls us the Land of Rebirth. They seem to be looking for some seed of rebirth. I'm not too sure about this. Us humans and the Monster Plant faction's powerhouses are probably evenly matched, so everyone is holding back for fear of hurting the innocent. Of course, this was what the old man said. In reality, humans were weaker than the Monster Plant faction. They didn't dare to fight us because they were afraid that the Monster Life faction would take advantage of them. When two tigers fight, someone will take advantage of them in the end. Nobody would do that. But now, I heard that a monster's apex has appeared in Capital City. It's not humans. Last time, it was a monster's apex that wanted to cross the border. Jiang Chao lowered his voice and said, Monster's apex usually belongs to the Monster Life faction. Of course, it's not absolute. Some monsters are very domineering and have waged war with the catacombs humans. But this looks like the kind raised at home. Although I'm not familiar with it, it's most likely a monster powerhouse from the Monster Life faction. What does this mean? It means that the Monster Life faction is about to make a move. If the two catacombs factions join forces, humans will really be finished. The last time Minister Zhang made a move, it was to repel this monster that crossed the border. The other elder ancestor was confronting the Monster Plant Clan powerhouse. The Monster Plant Clan powerhouse said that this fellow is a wild monster and has nothing to do with them. The pervert said that he might be fooling us. Anyway, I think he's fooling us. If the two factions really join forces, we're finished. Jiang Chao sighed and said, So now, it's time to eat and drink. If we join forces, we're completely finished. The elder ancestor will die even if he doesn't run. However, the two sides didn't fight. This means that even if the Monster Life faction wants to make a move, I'm afraid it's not all of them. It's very complicated. All in all, I think there's no hope for humans. After so many years, there's a test now. This is a sign. Don't you think it's hopeless? Jiang Chao sighed and said, I'm so hopeless that I don't want to cultivate anymore. In the past, I couldn't talk to those idiots. I'll talk to you guys, let you guys feel hopeless too, lest you guys think that I'm really useless, only willing to eat and wait to die. Fang Ping said lightly. What's there to feel hopeless about? Waiting to die is true hopelessness. It's better to rely on yourself than others. When you reach rank 9 Paragon, even if you really can't beat them, at least you can run. That makes sense. Jiang Chao nodded. Then, he suddenly swore. Don't try to fool me like this. Rank 9 Paragon. You said it's rank 9? Mother **Ker, it's totally not the same thing. Jiang Chao was somewhat resigned to his fate. He said, Rank 9 and rank 9 Paragon are really not the same thing. These years, I said that in the past 100 years, there are still 33 rank 9s who are still alive in Sino Nation on the list. In reality, there are still 5 or 6 in Star Town who are not on the list. The central government also probably hid a few. In total, there are probably less than 50 people. Among these people, about 30 of them broke through in the past 100 years, not counting those who died in battle. This means that on average, a rank 9 appears every 3 years. But do you know how many Paragons have appeared in the past 100 years? 2. Fang Ping rolled his eyes at him. Didn't you say it just now? That's right, you know 2 too. Jiang Chao said helplessly. Commander Li is awesome to the extreme. Rank 6 at 20 years old, rank 7 at 25, rank 8 at 35, rank 9 at 50, and a rank 9 Paragon at 70. It's been a few years since he broke through now. Minister Zhang, that's also a monster. I think he's 85 years old this year. He entered the catacombs when he was rank 4. A pie fell from the sky. A rank 9 monster plant died just like that, right under his nose. Old Zhang drank life essence directly and reached peak rank 5. Then, he forged his golden bones and golden body from the inside to the outside. It's about the same as you are now. This one even dug out the rank 9 monster plant's heart core and brain core. In just a few years, he rushed to rank 7 and forged a rank 9 divine weapon. With the rank 9 divine weapon, relying on the divine weapon's power, he did a few big things. Anyway, he's the awesome kind, working all the way to rank 9 Paragon. These two are both Destiny's children. Just like that, they're only rank 9 Paragon at almost 100 years old. How can I compare? So, what you're saying is nonsense. As long as there's a little hope, can I give up? Do you really think I'm that scared? As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Fengqing sneered. If you're not scared, who's scared? I'm not scared. I'm rank 5 this year, next year, no, in the second half of the year, Grandmaster next year, Paragon at 30 years old. Fang Ping glanced at him and said lightly, Then you can't rely on picking up rank 9 corpses. You have to pick up rank 9 Paragon corpses. One is not enough. You need a few more. As he said that, Fang Ping could not help but scold. Picking up a rank 9 monster plant's corpse, the kind with life essence. Are you sure Minister Zhang isn't a Destiny's child? Stop kidding me. Picking up corpses. A rank 4 picking up a rank 9 monster plant's corpse, a complete one. What did this mean? What kind of probability was this? Even a fart could blast him into dust. Old Zhang actually picked it up. Just based on this, Fang Ping felt that even if everyone else died, Old Zhang would not die. Jiang Chao shrugged. You have to be convinced. Rank 9 monster plants were hard to kill even for paragons. It was not that they could not be killed. It was that at rank 9, you could not kill them easily. It would easily cause a war. Even if you killed them, you would definitely take everything away. Those that could not be taken away would be destroyed and not left behind. In the end, Zhang Tao picked up a complete rank 9 monster plant's corpse. You have to be convinced. At this moment, Fang Ping no longer paid attention to Jiang Chao. Many things that he did not understand, he finally understood a little. Monster Plants and Monster Life clan were indeed at odds. The reason why the catacombs did not launch an all-out attack was because the desperate realms were restraining each other. In the past few years, the situation had worsened. It had something to do with the death of the Yang family's old ancestor. Humans had one less desperate realm. It was also related to the peace talks between the two clans in the restricted area. The capital city war originated from monsters crossing boundaries. They wanted to cross into the capital city catacombs from the inside of the restricted area. This triggered Minister Zhang to attack. Humans did not dare to gather all their forces to annihilate the catacombs because of these powerhouses restraining them. However, looking at the situation of humans being suppressed, those paragons were probably always at a disadvantage. They could only fight for limited rights and living space for humans. The innermost restricted area was divided into two factions. Around the restricted area, Imperial Sea Mountain was the humans' desperate realm. Further out were the four major territories of the north, south, east, and west, and 108 small territories. Further out, that was the Forbidden Sea. At this moment, Fang Ping finally had a clearer understanding of the catacombs. Moreover, between the 108 small territories, there were bounded zones and barrier zones, which were also full of danger. After clarifying these, Fang Ping ate a piece of dog meat. The taste was not bad. It was rich in energy. It was a waste to give good stuff to fatty Jiang. Fang Ping also ate a few more pieces. Qin Fengqing had already started eating. After eating for a while, Fang Ping asked again, "Do the sects have anything to do with you guys?" "No." Jiang Chao was eating too. His mouth was dripping with grease. He said vaguely, "The sect world is actually dead. It has been dead for a long time. It can even be traced back to the Song dynasty. At that time, the powerhouses in the sect world disappeared or died. Anyway, since then, the sect world is just a small fry. Even rank 3 is respected. Our Star Destroyer city doesn't come from the sect world. Of course, it's a little related, because some of the current sects that have not been around for a long time were established by martial artists who walked out of Star Destroyer City. The origins of the progenitors are not very clear. We don't know how long they have lived at all. Anyway, these progenitors have been paragons since I know them. They have always been guarding the Imperial Sea Mountain passageway." Fan Ping could not help but ask, "After so many years, they are still rank 9 paragons? Is this already the limit of martial arts?" "Probably." Jiang Chao said irresponsibly, "I'm not a rank 9 paragon. How would I know?" Fan Ping did not ask about this anymore. He asked again, "How is Star Destroyer City's strength?" Jiang Chao asked curiously, "Why are you asking this?" "I'm asking to see how the human's strength is." Jiang Chao glanced at him and said casually, "It's not a big secret. You don't know because your strength is too low. Many people know. Other than these paragon progenitors, there are also some rank 9 who are not young." "About 10, didn't you say 5 or 6? Jiang Chao said impatiently. "I said 5 or 6 who are not on the list. Do you really think we are isolated from the world? The rest are holding positions in various departments and are on the list." Fang Ping resisted the urge to smack him to death. He continued, "What about rank 7 and 8? Not many. There are 13 of them together. About 50 to 60. That's all?" Fang Ping looked surprised. "Only 4 or 5 in each family?" He was really surprised. According to his thinking, Star Destroyer City had been established for so many years and had abundant resources. It was normal for a family to have dozens of grandmasters, right? Suzisa could not hold it in anymore. She said gloomily, "Is it very few? It's very difficult to break through to rank 7. Many people can't achieve mentality-vitality fusion in their entire lives. Even if they do, it's very difficult to materialize mentality." Fang Ping muttered, "That's not right. Doesn't mentality-vitality fusion require some time to materialize mentality?" Su Zissou was even more shocked than he was. She shook her head and said, "No. Mentality-vitality fusion is mentality-vitality fusion. Mentality materialization is also a very big hurdle. There are often people who are stuck at the mentality-vitality fusion realm. Are you serious? Qin Fengqing rubbed his big bald head and explained. Lion Tang just achieved mentality-vitality fusion a few days ago, and now he wants to materialize mentality. Instructor Lu too. Why is it difficult? The four of them looked at each other. After a while, Fan Ping looked at Su Zissou and asked, Is it really difficult to achieve mentality materialization from mentality-vitality fusion? Su Zissou was about to break down. She said with a bitter face, It's really difficult. My uncle spent 12 years from mentality-vitality fusion to mentality materialization. Fan Ping looked at Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing looked at him too. After a while, he said sheepishly, Don't look at me. The people in Star Town probably took too many pills. Our instructor relied on real ability to grind his mentality to the mentality-vitality fusion realm. That's why there are no hurdles. If that's the case, Fan Ping, it might be very difficult for you to materialize too. You might be stuck for more than 10 years. Fan Ping ignored him and said to himself, If that's the case, Star Town's strength is not as strong as I thought? There are only 4 or 5 grandmasters in each family. I thought rank 7 and 8 were everywhere. Jiang Chao was speechless. If that was really the case, the powerhouses of those cities could be overwhelmed by numbers. How was that possible? There was a big hurdle between rank 6 and rank 7, okay. Also, I said we have 50 to 60 grandmasters in Star Town. There are almost 10 high grandmasters. Why does this bastard think they are weak? Jiang Chao was very confused. They are so strong. So strong that you should be trembling in fear. You think we are weak? What are you thinking? Fan Ping was not the only one who thought they were weak. Qin Fengqing also muttered. I thought you guys were very strong too. Every one of you is rank 6. Rank 7 and 8 are a dime a dozen. But after so long, you only have so few. Your family only has 4 or 5 grandmasters. Not counting your ancestors, you can't even defeat MC Mayu. How are you doing? If MC Mayu had an absolute peak, there would be hundreds of grandmasters by now. Get lost! Jiang Chao said angrily. Minister Zhang is an absolute peak. Martial arts universities and the Ministry of Education are considered one. Qin Fengqing curled his lips and said, That's right. That's why MC Mayu has trained more than 10 grandmasters all these years. Adding all the martial arts universities together, more than half of the grandmasters in Sino Nation came from martial arts universities. Is there a problem with a few hundred of them? Jiang Chao shook his head. Was that how it was calculated? There seemed to be a problem somewhere. However, where did it go wrong? Beside him, Su Zissou said softly, There are very few people in Star Town. There are 13 families, which means there are only about 3,000 people. Jiang Chao suddenly realized and scolded. We have very few people. How many people do your martial arts universities have? We have very few resources. That's still a lot of people. The two of them were arguing. Fan Ping felt a headache coming on. He interrupted. Let's talk about the World Youth Martial Arts Competition. This has nothing to do with you. Jiang Chao explained. It really has nothing to do with you. It's just fighting for a spot in the restricted area. Every 3 years, we can enter the restricted area and compete with the genius martial artists in the catacombs. I don't know what to compete for. Anyway, we just fight. Of course, there are good things. Many people broke through and became grandmasters in the restricted area. My pervert is one of them. When he entered, he was peak rank 6. When he came out, he was a grandmaster. Seeing Fan Ping and Qin Fengqing staring at him, Jiang Chao explained again. You can't go. There are too few spots. There are only 30 people every 3 years, and the whole world is fighting for it. Sino Nation will probably only send about 10 people. Our ancestors will be guarding the front. Star Town should get some, right? The central government should get some too. The military department has to get some too. In the end, there are only 2 or 3 people in each family. Tell me, do you think there's any left for you? Also, there are not always benefits if you go. Every time you go, people die. Martial arts university students. The strongest ones in the past were only rank 4 or 5. Going would be suicide. It's meaningless. Don't ask why we don't train you in advance. If you're really capable, you can enter the government or the military department after graduation. Those who are powerful will go too. So you guys usually don't know about this, but the central government and the military department know. Some of the Grand Masters now actually came out of the restricted area. Fang Ping rubbed his chin. The past is the past. According to what you said, it still depends on ability. With my ability, I'm not qualified to go. Jiang Chao shrugged. I don't know about that. Anyway, things haven't been decided yet. If you're capable, you can fight for it yourself. But, to put it bluntly, you probably won't be able to go. At least, you might not be reliable. What do you mean? Fang Ping's gaze was dangerous. Jiang Chao explained. When I say reliable, I mean the kind that comes from the right roots. The central government, the military department, Star Town, all of them are absolutely reliable. You guys, your martial arts universities are also considered unorthodox. I don't know if there will be accidents. Do you understand what I mean? If you've been in the military department since you were young, or if your family has been in the military department for a few generations, or if you're an orphan of the military department, then you're from the right roots. After Jiang Chao finished, he added, You guys are mutants. Anyway, your foundation isn't clean enough. It's only right that you don't go. My foundation isn't clean enough? Fang Ping frowned. As expected, there were still some side effects. If you don't want to go, then don't go. Do you think we care? Fang Ping let out a humph. I don't care. At most. I'll go myself next time. He did not care. Qin Fengqing rubbed his chin and mumbled. I'm not a mutant. Is my foundation clean enough? Jiang Chao glanced at him. After a while, he mumbled. You're not a mutant. You're weak. You can't even beat me. You're just a weakling. Are you going to die? I don't even dare to go, yet you still want to go. You're wasting the quota. These words. Qin Fengqing's face flushed red. I'm weak. All right, I'm a little weak. I'm only early stage rank 5. Fang Ping said again. Then the internal affairs of the restricted area, I'm really not too sure about that. I know a little about the external affairs. As for the internal affairs, I only know that they're divided into 2 factions. I'm not sure about the rest. Jiang Chao shrugged. I'm just a good-for-nothing. I know a little about the general news. As for top-secret news, I can only eavesdrop a few words. I can't do it often either. How much do you think I know? Beside him, Su Zisa saw Fang Ping looking at her and said hurriedly. I know less than Jiang Chao. I wouldn't dare eavesdrop on my family members. So, that's all you know? Yes. Fang Ping frowned and glanced at Qin Fengqing. Qin Fengqing understood and kept the dog meat. That's all you know? Just a little dog meat is enough. Don't waste it. This was not real dog meat. This was the meat of a rank 7 monster. If it was given to others, it could increase their energy. Jiang Chao almost died of anger. Burn the bridge after crossing it. You two are too realistic. Qin Fengqing said helplessly. Let the juniors eat some. You won't increase your cultivation even if you eat it. That's too extravagant. I'll treat you to barbecue later. Have a few thousand skewers. That's good enough, right? Jiang Chao was speechless. He scolded. I knew you two were up to no good. You've been scheming against us since the beginning. But forget it. I'm a generous man. I can't be bothered to argue with you. If you guys are stronger, you can destroy the catacombs. Then we can live a better life. If you can't, then you guys will die. It has nothing to do with me. Jiang Chao's words made Fan Ping look at him in a different light. He could not help but say, "Great wisdom looks like stupidity. You're the one who sees things clearly. It'd be great if you were a spoiled brat. Next time, don't cultivate. Give me all the resources. When I reach the peak, I'll bring you away." Jiang Chao glanced at him with a look of disdain. "As if I'll believe you." Qin Fengqing saw that Fan Ping had said everything he wanted to say. Helpless, he added, "You can give me little sous. Invest in me. When I reach the peak, it won't be a problem to marry you." Su Zis's face was red. She was furious. "Do you think I'm stupid?" Fan Ping calculated in his heart. He still did not know much about the restricted area. However, he had a rough idea of some things. In short, this meal was not for nothing. The information of the human higher-ups had also begun to reveal a corner of it to him. Chapter 470. The Cafeteria. Fan Ping was still sorting out the information he had just received in his mind when his face lit up suddenly. He turned his head to look at the southern area. "Let's go!" Fan Ping stood up quickly and exclaimed. "Instructor Tang has broken through!" Qin Fengqing was also overjoyed. He said excitedly, "MC Meiyu's 6th Grand Master!" Fan Ping did not even take the stairs. He stepped out of the window directly. The 3 people behind him followed him hurriedly. Fan Ping said as he stepped, "Qin Fengqing, why are you so excited? Big Lion hasn't settled the score with you yet." Qin Fengqing stopped in his tracks. "Yeah, why am I excited? Why should I be excited? Big Lion is rank 7 now. If he catches me, will he beat me to death?" In the next moment, Qin Fengqing's eyes lit up and he flew away. When Fan Ping and the others arrived outside the pressure room, Qin Fengqing arrived a step later. He was carrying a girl in his hand. He laughed and said, "When Instructor Tang is about to break through. Congratulations. If anyone dares to bully you in the future, come find me." Tang Wen was dumbfounded and helpless. She was in class when Qin Fengqing suddenly rushed into the classroom. As the whole class was in a daze, Qin Fengqing grabbed her and flew out without saying a word. Tang Wen was so scared that she thought her dad had beaten him up again. Tang Wen already knew that her father had made a lot of enemies for her. It used to be Fan Ping, but after Fan Ping made peace with her father, she could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Fan Ping had finally stopped looking for trouble, and now Qin Fengqing had come. Tang Wen was almost depressed to death. When Qin Fengqing spoke, Tang Wen finally understood. She was overjoyed. "My dad broke through?" "Yes, he broke through." "Ha ha ha, congratulations." Qin Fengqing laughed and patted Tang Wen's head kindly. "Your dad broke through. I'm so nice to you. Your dad must be embarrassed to beat me up now, right?" Tang Wen was in no mood to talk to him. She looked at the pressure room excitedly. Many people had gathered outside the pressure room. Even some of the disabled and retired MCMAU old people rushed over with the help of their children. Many of the old people had tears on their faces. They cried with joy. "The heavens have eyes! We have 6 High Grand Masters now! 61 years since the founding of the school. There are 6 Grand Masters in the school. Teacher, have you seen them? 3 Grand Masters in 1 year! MCMAU is invincible!" At this moment, the elders could not help but cry tears of joy. Compared to Lu Fengru's breakthrough, Tang Feng's breakthrough was more exciting for them. Lu Fengru was more selfish. She did not have a strong sense of belonging to MCMAU, but Tang Feng was different. Tang Feng was a student that MCMAU had nurtured single-handedly. Although his teacher wasn't the old principal, he was still one of the teachers from the early days of the school. From his youth until now, Tang Feng had spent most of his life in MCMAU. A long time ago, after Huang Jing, everyone had anticipated that the next powerhouse to enter the Grand Master realm would be Tang Feng. Li Changxing and Lu Fengru's breakthroughs were actually accidents. Everyone was certain that Tang Feng could enter the Grand Master realm. Today, Tang Feng did not disappoint them and finally stepped into the Grand Master realm, above the pressure room. At this moment, the color of blood permeated the air. The bridge of heaven and earth straightened out as a bridge that connected to the heavens pierced through the void. The 3 Sanjiao gates descended with a rumble and lined up in an orderly manner. Fang Pingyuan thought that Tang Feng's mentality materialization was most likely his fists, or a weapon like the boxing gloves. After all, Tang Feng's title was Mad Lion. His pair of iron fists intimidated everyone. He was ranked 6th on the rank 6 ranking list. Other than a few top-notch senior powerhouses who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion, Tang Feng could be said to be invincible among those who were not grandmasters. However, when he saw Tang Feng's materialization, Fang Ping realized that he had guessed wrongly. Roar! A vigorous and ruthless roar rang out. A golden lion appeared out of thin air. Fang Ping was dumbfounded. Big lion. He's trying to solidify his title. Old Manly and the rest had arrived too. Seeing this scene, Old Manly was also dumbfounded. Mother ***, what was going on with MC Mayu? Lu Fengru brought a phoenix here. Why did Tang Feng bring a lion here too? Could it be that animal-type materialization was popular now? Roar! In midair, the golden wild lion was still roaring fiercely. At this moment, Lu Fengru tread the air and threw Jing Nanqi's boxing gloves into the air. She shouted, "Melt your bloody gloves! We will lend you a hand!" The golden wild lion seemed to have become a living creature. Its blood-red eyes glanced at Lu Fengru. When it saw the pair of boxing gloves, the golden wild lion's eyes revealed a human-like surprise. Divine weapon! He had just broken through, and a divine weapon actually appeared in front of him? He could not afford to think too much. At this moment, his mentality had just materialized and the phenomenon had appeared. It was also the best time for him to condense a divine weapon. The next moment, the golden wild lion swallowed the boxing gloves that were thrown at it. After a while, in the pressure room, the roof was penetrated. A pair of blood-red boxing gloves were thrown out, and the golden wild lion swallowed them in one gulp again. Seeing this, Old Manly did not need anyone to say anything. He roared and tread the air. An extremely vigorous vitality force descended on the golden wild lion in an instant. Lu Fengru also intertwined celestiality and tread the air. With a roar, celestiality surged into the golden wild lion's body. The rank 8 golden body Minister Wang had not been in MC Mayu for the past 2 days. Previously, he had been in the Magic City Governor's house. At this moment, when he saw this scene, his eyes lit up. A wave of celestiality surged from his body and surged into the lion's body. These people were helping Tang Feng smelt the 2 weapons into one, turning them into a divine weapon that truly belonged to him. Below, Liemo did not participate. The look in his eyes was slightly complicated. MC Mayu had one more Grandmaster, and this Grandmaster was also extremely powerful. Once his mentality materialized, the golden wild lion became extremely human-like. Lu Fengru was even sure that his materialized object could be smelted into a divine weapon. This actually meant a lot. A divine weapon was not something that could be smelted as one pleased. At this moment, 3 high grandmasters were helping Tang Feng to smelt his own divine weapon. Once the smelting was successful, this new grandmaster of MC Mayu's combat strength would probably skyrocket. In midair, the golden wild lion roared continuously. Inside his body, the 2 pairs of boxing gloves were colliding continuously. The dull sound of thunder echoed throughout the world. Below, the instructors and students were focused and calm. Although many people did not understand, this did not stop them from knowing that this seemed to be a critical moment. Since a few high grandmasters were helping, it was obvious that this was not a small matter. Fang Ping did not know how to smelt a divine weapon. However, there were still people who knew. Luo Yichuan saw Fang Ping looking up at him with a slightly nervous expression. He said softly, "It's okay. 3 high grandmasters are helping. In addition, Tang Feng is extremely strong himself. The bloody gloves have been with him for many years. Soon, they will be smelted into one. If the core of the divine weapon can be transferred into the bloody gloves, then the newly forged divine weapon will be his bloody gloves. A pair of gloves that has been with him for 30 years. When that time comes, Tang Feng's strength will be even stronger. Tang Feng had used the bloody gloves for many years, just like Zhang Dingnan's saber. Actually, Zhang Dingnan's saber could also be smelted into a divine weapon. Unfortunately, Zhang Dingnan could not gather enough materials and could only give up. Moreover, Zhang Dingnan was afraid that he would eventually destroy the bandit-slaying saber, so he gave it to Fan Ping later. At this moment, Tang Feng was fusing the divine weapon with the bloody gloves. As for whether the bloody gloves would fuse with the divine weapon or the bloody gloves would transform into a divine weapon, it was still difficult to determine. Beside him, Xingnanqi's expression was a little complicated. His own divine weapon was smelted by someone else. Naturally, he felt a sense of loss. However, Xingnanqi quickly sighed softly. In their hands, the divine weapon was like a pearl covered in dust. Perhaps only in the hands of these powerhouses who had walked out of mountains of corpses and seas of blood could it be put to good use. Only in the hands of a powerhouse like Tang Feng, the divine weapon was not a disgrace. If it really fell into the hands of Qin Fengqin, that would be a grievance and a disgrace. Accompanied by the furious roar of the lion, the sound of the gloves colliding became louder and louder. In the sky above Mcmu, a few silhouettes appeared again. Someone saw the situation and laughed loudly. "Let's add flowers to brocade and congratulate Brother Tang." As soon as he finished speaking, streams of celestiality surged into the golden lion's body. "Thank you, everyone, for your help." Old Manly laughed loudly. Today, Mcmu would produce another powerful rank 7. Following everyone's help, the next moment, the golden lion was instantly dyed blood red. A moment later, a pair of blood-red crystal gloves appeared above the lion's head. In the next moment, a silhouette broke through the air. Tang Feng's aura was violent. He grabbed the gloves, and they appeared on his hands in an instant. Tang Feng could not contain his joy. He punched toward the sky. Boom! A bolt from the blue. With this punch, many of the people below staggered backward. The aftershock spread, and the ground cracked. Fan Ping saw the situation and laughed loudly. "Congratulations to Instructor Tang, congratulations to the Grand Master." As for the fine, he would definitely be punished. If Big Lion did not manage Mcmu well this time, he would be punished to death. In midair, the sound of thunder continued. Below, the instructors and students were overjoyed. They shouted wildly, "Congratulations to the Grand Master!" They were honored. In just a short month, they had congratulated the Grand Master twice. What an honor, what a pride! Congratulations to the Grand Master! The cheers came one after another. Mcmu was boiling. Magic City was boiling. In March 2010, 2 Mcmu powerhouses had entered the Grand Master realm. Congratulations to Mcmu! Fan Ping stepped into the air, shouting loudly. Mcmu's 6 Grandmasters, the number 1 in martial arts universities, they were well deserved. Congratulations to Mcmu! The cheers were endless, one after another. So strong! Below, looking at Tang Feng standing in the air with a violent aura, Xingnanqi and the others were shocked. He was really strong. Once this new Grandmaster of Mcmu entered rank 7, he gave off the feeling that he was no weaker than some of the veteran Grandmasters. His vitality was like a furnace. One look at him, and you would feel burned. Liemo nodded slightly, saying softly, "He's really strong, especially the divine weapon that he has melted into a glove that he has used for many years. This person has also fought in the catacombs for many years and killed countless people. I'm afraid he's no weaker than the average middle stage or upper stage rank 7. Jiang Chao could not help but ask, "How does he compare to my freak?" Liemo pondered for a moment, saying softly, "In a spar, he has just broken through. he might not be Jiang Hao's match. In a life-and-death battle, this person has killed countless people. Jiang Hao might not be his match. How is that possible? Although Jiang Chao did not like his older brother, he still could not help but say, "A freak middle stage rank 7, with 2 divine weapons in hand, has also killed countless people, even beheading same-rank catacombs geniuses. Is he not his match?" His older brother was a top-notch prodigy martial artist even in Star Town. Some of the older rank 7s, even if they were upper stage, would not dare to say that they could definitely defeat his older brother. But now, Liemo actually said that in a life-and-death battle, Jiang Hao might not be Tang Feng's match. Liemo sighed. Seeing that everyone was looking at him, he explained softly again. Among same-rank powerhouses, the military department is the strongest, followed by martial arts universities. Do you understand? Everyone did not quite understand. Why was it like this? The military department and martial arts universities take things one step at a time. The military department starts fighting from rank 1, living on the edge of life and death every day. Martial arts university powerhouses start fighting from rank 3, relying on themselves for all resources and experience. Whether it's the military department or martial arts universities, resources are limited. Because they have a lot of people, they want to kill their way out of countless people and become a powerhouse. Countless blood has been shed, countless hardships. They are indeed slightly stronger than Star Town. In Star Town, there was almost no fighting below rank 6. How could a group of martial artists who grew up in such an environment compare to this group of powerhouses who were bathed in blood and killed for a normal vitality pill? In Star Town, how many people would care about a normal vitality pill? Not to mention a normal vitality pill, no matter the rank, many people would not be interested in it. As for the military department and martial arts university martial artists, they might have to kill a few martial artists of the same rank to obtain a pill. This was the source of the difference in strength between the two sides. Sometimes, divine weapons, combat techniques, and talent were not the main factors that determined strength and combat strength. The key was still the mentality and belief. After Liemo finished speaking, everyone fell silent. Looking at the powerhouses in the sky, Li Fei muttered, "No wonder Third Grandpa chose to go to the military department and never returned to Star Town." Liemo glanced at him and snorted softly. "Don't bite off more than you can chew. Having a high starting point doesn't mean that we will definitely be weaker than our peers. The key is still in ourselves. It's not your fault that you have a high starting point. This is your capital. If Jiang Hao continues to train for another 3 to 5 years, these people will definitely not be Jiang Hao's match. Do you understand?" Moreover, Jiang Hao was still young. This was also a huge advantage that this rank 7 from MCMAU could not compare to. Midair. Tang Feng restrained his aura and regained his composure. There was a slight smile on his face. Turning his head to look at Lu Fengru, Tang Feng smiled and said, "Congratulations. When you broke through earlier, I felt it, but it was a critical moment," Lu Fengru said lightly. "It's just a rank 7. I've wasted so many years. What's there to congratulate?" Tang Feng's tone faltered. "I just broke through. I was just excited. Don't hit me, okay?" The other rank 7 grandmasters who had just arrived did not know whether to laugh or cry. Lu Fengru's words had hit everyone. Tang Feng originally wanted to ask about the divine weapon, but after thinking about it, he did not ask now. It would not be too late to ask later. Everyone did not continue to float in midair and landed one after another. Fang Ping followed them all the way. Seeing this, he smiled and said, "Instructors that. Can I say something?" They looked at him and nodded slightly. Fang Ping saw this and said loudly, "April 2nd, February 18th, MCMAU will hold a Grand Master Banquet. The whole world will celebrate. Congratulations to humanity, congratulations to Sino Nation, congratulations to MCMAU, congratulations to Grandmasters. Grand Master Banquet!" At this moment, MCMAU was once again in an uproar. How many years had it been since MCMAU had held a Grandmaster banquet? Finally, such an opportunity had arrived. Moreover, this time, it was not just one Grandmaster. A few Magic City's local Grandmaster powerhouses laughed when they heard this. We will definitely come when the time comes. Let's have a few drinks together. These days, everyone has been tense. It's time to relax. That's right. I've been waiting for Dean Lee's wedding banquet. In the end, I waited until the new year, but it didn't happen. I thought that Dean Lee's breakthrough should be coming soon, right? In the end, it didn't happen. Finally, there's news now. MCMAU is really low-key. They only held it when all three of them broke through together. We missed out on a few drinks. Everyone congratulated one after another. MCMAU had 3 new Grandmasters. This was indeed a rare joyous occasion. Since last year, MCMAU's old Vice-Chancellor died in battle, many Grandmasters had fallen, and a series of events after that had put the whole Sino nation and even the whole world under immense pressure. These days there were also people who had broken through to the Grandmaster realm. However, compared to MCMAU's 3 high Grandmasters, they were still far behind. If MCMAU were to hold a Grandmaster banquet, it would probably be lively for once. As the date of the Grandmaster banquet was set, the school was in an uproar. The Grandmasters were also talking and laughing. They were in a good mood. Tang Feng did not care about this. This was a tradition. However, Old Manly had broken this tradition. He refused to hold it no matter what and had been delaying it. After a while, a few MCMAU Grandmasters sent the foreign Grandmasters away. Only then, Qin Fengqing walked over with Tang Wen. Before his daughter, Tang Wen, could speak, Qin Fengqing was overjoyed. Instructor Tang, you've broken through to Grandmaster. I'm so happy! Instructor Tang, when you punched just now, lightning flashed and thunder roared. How domineering! You're practically my hero and idol in my heart. Tang Wen could not help but look at him. Is this your father or mine? I'm embarrassed to suck up to him. Beside her, Old Manly patted Fang Ping and sighed. Seeing him, I think of you from before. Fang Ping was speechless. Instructor, I'm not as shameless as him. Old Manly sneered. You're even more shameless than him. However, now, Fang Ping was slightly more shameless. It was not that he did not care about his reputation. He had left all the shameless things to Qin Fengqing. Now that Fang Ping had subordinates that he could order around, he did not have to do some things himself. Otherwise, Qin Fengqing's shamelessness might be slightly worse than Fang Ping's. If it were Fang Ping, he would not only think about sucking up to him, but also how to make Big Lion his coolie in the future. While Old Manly was still thinking about this, Tang Feng could not stand Qin Fengqing's nagging anymore. It was just a few lines of flattery. He was sick of listening to it. Did he not see that his own daughter wanted to talk to him? Did he not have any eyesight at all? In the next moment, Qin Fengqing's free ride on the flying bus was kicked away by Tang Feng. Outside, Li Fei and the others stopped in their tracks. MCMAU's new Grandmasters were so cruel. No wonder these MCMAU students were also so cruel. When they were fierce, they would even beat up their own people. Looking at Fang Ping, who was chatting cheerfully with a few Grandmasters, Jiang Chao suddenly said in a low voice, Big Baldy really doesn't have much status in MCMAU. He's doing so badly. Look at Fang Ping. Qin Fengqing, this fellow, was doing so badly. The things this fellow had boasted to them before were probably true, right? Chapter 471. Tang Feng had just broken through, so he had a lot of things to do. Tang Feng was not familiar with Lian Mo and the others. After exchanging a few pleasantries, Lian Mo tactfully brought Li Fei and the others away. As soon as Lian Mo and the others left, the excited Tang Wen could not help but exclaim, Dad, you broke through. As she said that, Tang Wen suddenly looked at Fang Ping and said carefully, President, my dad broke through. Fang Ping glanced at her. Yes, he was not blind. No. No more benefits from last time? Tang Wen said carefully. Although her father had broken through, Fang Ping usually did not deal with her directly. Compared to that boorish senior Qin, Tang Wen was more afraid of Fang Ping. Fang Ping's expression darkened. This girl was getting ahead of herself. Do you know how much I gave out 200,000 credits last time? Fang Ping coughed softly and smiled. The school's resources are tight now. We can't make ends meet. Life is tough. We have to use a normal vitality pill sparingly. We can't waste it. Next month, the school will be eating dirt. I wonder if the Ministry of Education can support us a little more. Beside him, Minister Wang, who had not left yet, rubbed his temples and laughed. I'll leave first. Also, next time you complain about being poor, put away your divine weapons first. After saying that, old Wang flew away. This kid, Fang Ping, was still crying in front of him. He wanted to rob MC Meiyu. After Minister Wang left, the rest were all his own people. Tang Feng asked, "What's with the divine weapons?" Fang Ping was about to speak when Old Manly said, "Fang Ping cheated them, instructor." Fang Ping corrected him with a straight face. "I won them in the competition. How could this be called cheating?" Tang Feng was surprised and asked a few questions. Old Manly also repeated everything that had happened recently. After listening to this, Tang Feng looked at Fang Ping. After a while, he said, "I've completely melted the divine weapon, but I probably can't return it. When you need it, I'll help you hunt down a monster." Old Manly said faintly, "Don't make promises. This kid might not be interested in a rank 7 divine weapon. If he's interested in a rank 9, are you sure you want to hunt it?" Tang Feng stopped in his tracks. What he said made sense. As they were talking, Lu Fengru and Tang Feng looked at the underground tunnel not far away. Old Manly was slower by a beat. When he saw Fang Ping and him turn their heads at the same time, Old Man Li's expression darkened. How embarrassing! How embarrassing! How embarrassing! It was one thing for a rank 8 like him to lose to 2 rank 7s, but he had actually discovered the commotion at the same time as Fang Ping. Fang Ping stifled his laughter, suppressing the urge to laugh maniacally. He coughed a few times and said, "Is this Vice-Chancellor and the others back?" Lu Fengren nodded slightly. Tang Feng breathed a sigh of relief and said, "It's them." Beside him, Old Man Li's face was dark and he said nothing. His status was getting lower and lower, and his sense of existence was getting lower and lower. It was fine when MC Meiyu's grandmasters were few, but now that there were so many, he realized that he was about to become a big joke. "I must materialize my psychic energy immediately." These words echoed in Old Man Li's heart again and again. If he did not materialize now, he would not be able to survive. At the same time, in the tunnel, Wu Quishan's expression changed slightly. "Fengru and Tang Feng have broken through?" Huang Jing nodded and said with a look of surprise, "It's too fast." They did not stay long in the catacombs this time. It was only half a month. But in such a short period of time, both of them actually broke through. Wu Quishan continued, "There's also a rank 8 golden body in the school. His aura is a little unfamiliar. Where did he come from? Rank 8 golden body? Did something happen to the school?" Huang Jing was slightly nervous. Wu Quishan shook his head slightly and said, "It doesn't look like it. Besides, Changxing and the rest are all in the school. Besides, we're back now. This rank 8 is no match for me. I can kill him with a slap even without a divine weapon." Huang Jing and Lu Pola didn't seem to have any objections to Wu Quishan's suggestion. Since Wu Quishan said that he could slap the other party to death, it shouldn't be a problem. Since it was trash that could be slapped to death, there was no need to pay too much attention to it. Just as Wu Quishan and the others were exiting the passageway, Liemo was leading Li Fei and the others to the accommodation arranged by MC Meiyu. After walking for a while, Liemo tilted his head and glanced at South District. After a while, Liemo said, "After we greet them, we'll return to Startown. Grandpa Li, are you leaving now?" Liemo did not say much. When he was in MC Mayu, he still thought that MC Mayu was invincible. Now that there were more and more powerhouses in MC Mayu, and MC Mayu's vice-chancellor seemed to have returned, it was a little stressful. It was better to leave as soon as possible. But then again, MC Mayu's strength was much stronger than he had expected. Excluding peak strength like absolute peak, MC Mayu as a martial arts university was probably comparable to one of the 13 universities. Perhaps, it was slightly stronger. Liemo thought about this in his heart, and then thought about the combat technique rooms and other facilities that MC Mayu had opened to them before. We're going back. Send more materials over. Only those with strength were worthy of respect. MC Mayu's strength was not weak. If they wanted to be on good terms with Startown, there was no need to keep them at a distance. As for the exchange between the two sides, whether Startown was open to the public or not, he still had to ask the old ancestors for their opinions. MC Mayu passageway entrance. Soon, Wu Quishan and the other two walked out. When he saw Lu Fengru, Wu Quishan smiled slightly, nodded and said, "I've broken through." "Yes. It's faster than I expected." Wu Quishan did not say much. He looked at Tang Feng and smiled. "Congratulations." Tang Feng smiled. "Vice-Chancellor, let's not talk about this. Was everything all right in the Magic City catacombs this time?" "It was fine." Wu Quishan smiled, looked at Fang Ping, and said, "Both sides didn't come to Hope City. There was a fight in Skygate City, and this time Skygate City was almost completely destroyed. After that, both sides seemed to have reached an agreement, and the monsters returned to the forbidden area." As he said that, Wu Quishan said with a strange expression, "Kid, next time you enter the catacombs, be careful." "What's wrong?" Fan Ping was a little curious. Was it not over? Huang Jing also looked at him strangely. After a while he said, "A few days ago, that Jiao suddenly came to Hope City. It used its mentality to materialize a figure, and it seemed to be you. It wants to find you. As for why, I'm not too sure. But we have Chief Nan and the others here, and the Jiao didn't stay either. It probably didn't sense you and left. But I can see that it can't forget you. You kid, take it easy." Fan Ping's face turned purple. Was it necessary? The Jiao actually went to Hope City to find him. What did it want? What Fan Ping did not know was that the Jiao was looking for him for serious business. Skygate City was going to move. And they were going to move the mines. The Jiao was a little anxious. It wanted Fan Ping's cooperation to see if it could rob Skygate City's huge mines. In the end, it did not find Fan Ping, and the Jiao was very disappointed. From the Jiao's point of view, Chef was not very strong, but he seemed to have some skill in robbing. It still wanted Fan Ping's cooperation, but unfortunately he was not here. Fan Ping did not know what the Jiao was thinking. At this moment, Fan Ping looked gloomy. He said helplessly, "It even has its eyes on me?" Huang Jing chuckled. "If worst comes to worst, I won't go to Magic City's catacombs. Do you think it can kill its way to the surface to find you?" Fan Ping said hurriedly, "Don't say that. If it really comes to the surface, I won't even know how to cry. Vice-Chancellor, the next time you see it, just cut it up." Wu Quishan shook his head. "Don't even think about it. This Jiao is a monster from 100 Beasts Forest. Right now, Hope City can't wait to have nothing to do with 100 Beasts Forest. Don't even talk about killing this Jiao. If you see it, it's best to avoid it to avoid trouble." The Jiao too had a backer. This time, Magic City's catacombs had become like this because of the Jiao. Fan Ping was gloomy again. He asked hurriedly, "So, Magic City's catacombs is quiet now?" "Yes. Mayor Nan and Guardian Zhang will still be here for a few more days. We're fine." Also, martial artists from Monster Sunflower City have started to come out. They're more well-informed than us, so it's almost settled down. They didn't fight. Fan Ping felt a little regretful. If they had fought, it would have been a good thing if some rank 9 powerhouses had died. Unfortunately, monsters were more rational than he thought. Wu Quishan smiled faintly. Although they didn't fight, you've done a good deed this time. Both sides were at war before. Skygate City is really going to move this time, and it won't be slow either. If nothing goes wrong, in 3 to 5 months, Skygate City will move from its original location. This means that Hope City's defense line can be pushed forward 100 li. Previously, the two cities were too close to each other. Although they forced Skygate City to show signs of moving last time, they couldn't make Skygate City move officially. Now that they've left, we have more room to maneuver. Beside him, Lu Fengris suddenly said, "That B***** is leaving?" Wu Quishan's gaze was slightly complicated. Soon, he smiled and said, "It's fine if he's gone. It's an eyesore to see him every day. He didn't have it easy this time either. First, he exposed his divine weapon. During the second battle, 3 Beast Kings surrounded him and almost killed him. If the people from the restricted area did not intervene, he would have been killed directly. It's good that he's gone. The 3 Beast Kings couldn't kill him." Lu Fengru's expression was ugly. Wu Quishan was silent for a moment. Finally, he said, "He has a rank 9 divine weapon. A Rio rank 9 divine weapon, combined with his middle stage rank 9 ability, is comparable to an upper stage rank 9. If you want to kill him, you'll need at least an upper stage rank 9 powerhouse, or a middle stage rank 9 powerhouse with a rank 9 divine weapon. At this moment, even if he broke through to rank 9 and carried a divine weapon, he might not be able to kill the other party. He would be lucky if he could fight to a draw. If he wanted to kill the Skygate City Lord, he would need to break through to middle stage rank 9 at least and upgrade his divine weapon to rank 9 officially. By then, both parties would be of the same rank. The Skygate City Lord's combat strength was average. Wu Quishan felt that he might be able to kill him. However, this required time. He himself did not know when he would have such an opportunity. Seeing that the two of them were speaking seriously, Huang Jing laughed and said, "All right, let's not talk about this first. Where's my monster? I've been thinking about it since I was in Hope City." Before he could finish, Old Manly stomped his foot and swore, "What broken shoes?" Huang Jing did not notice at first, but Wu Quishan took a look. After a while, he could not help but cough softly. "Divine weapon?" Old Manly said casually. "Uh-huh. Right, there's a sword in the warehouse. Old Lu, you can take it later." Beside him, Fang Ping's expression was bitter. "This is what I wanted to say. I was going to say it." Old Manly had learned to interrupt now. Before Old Manly could continue, Fang Ping said immediately, "Vice-Chancellor, Instructor and Instructor Tang also have divine weapons. I've also prepared Old Lu's. Instructor Li can make do with the rank 7 boots first. Vice-Chancellor Huang can smelt it himself. You have a divine weapon, so I didn't prepare it for you." At this moment, the 3 of them who had just come out looked dazed. What was going on? Divine weapon wholesale? Wu Quishan was dazed for a moment. He coughed softly and said, "Tell me, MC may use 6 Grandmasters, 6 divine weapons." Wu Quishan exhaled. He was about to continue asking when Fang Ping said immediately, "It's just a few rank 7 divine weapons. It's nothing. This is what students should do." Lu Pola could not help but laugh. "There are really divine weapons?" "Yes, Old Lu. I've specially prepared a divine weapon longsword for you. The name is an authentic divine weapon name, Kunwa Sword. You'll definitely like it." Lu Pola and the other 2 looked at each other. Huang Jing could not hold it in and asked hurriedly, "How did you get it?" Fang Ping immediately began narrating. Beside him, Old Manly pursed his lips. "Do you think I'll steal the credit? I'm just suppressing Old Huang first so that he won't show off his divine weapon in front of me." More than 10 minutes later, Fang Ping told them everything that had happened in the university recently. Huang Jing looked amazed. Lu Pola looked satisfied. He was in a good mood. As for Wu Quishan, he did not know whether he should be happy or helpless. Logically speaking, he should be happy about this. However, this kid Fang Ping was extremely arrogant and was boasting to Lu Po Lu and the others. If this went on, this kid would really become the vice-chancellor. Old Wu could not hold it in anymore. While Fang Ping was still talking, he kicked him away. Only then did he feel refreshed and much more comfortable. Everyone could not help but laugh. After kicking Fang Ping away, Wu Kuishan said with a straight face, "We'll start smelting the divine weapons today. Not only do we smelt them, but we'll also flaunt them." Old Manly said helplessly, "I can't smelt them." As for flaunting them, it was nothing more than to tell the outside world that they had taken the divine weapons, and it had nothing to do with Fang Ping. It was also to tell Stellar City that they were the ones who took the divine weapons, and it had nothing to do with the juniors. Fang Ping and the others had no use for the divine weapons. There was no need to scheme against them. Huang Jing pondered for a moment. Stellar City won't go to the extent of finding trouble with Fang Ping and the others just for these divine weapons, right? It's hard to say. Wu Kuishan shook his head. It's not just one or two families. The 10 people who came this time represent 10 families. If there are more people, the representatives will have different opinions. The juniors might not care and don't take it seriously. A few families might not care either, but it doesn't mean that they don't care. This kid Fang Ping likes to take risks out of desperation. Keep an eye on him next time. He's only rank 5 now. The most important thing now is to break through. As for the rest of us, we have to work harder. The situation is indeed getting worse. Previously in Hope City, Minister South said that the Tianan Catacombs passageway has already shown a stable state. The seals that were set up before have also been washed away. When the Tianan Catacombs opens, I'm afraid it will be a fierce battle. This time, there's no need to mobilize people. Everyone has to contribute. For you to break through at this time. I don't know if it's good or bad. Wu Kuishan sighed softly. The 6 high Grand Masters of MCMU were now idle. Grand Masters were not there for you to retire. If you were not a Grand Master, it would not be a problem to break through in seclusion. When you reach the Grand Master level, how could it be possible for the 6 high Grand Masters to stay in MCMU and not fight? For the opening of the Tianan Catacombs this time, MCMU definitely had to send Grand Masters over. Moreover, it was not just one person. If the situation in Magic City's catacombs was not tense, 2 or 3 of them would not be considered contributing. Tang Feng laughed. It's been a long time since I went to battle. Now that the Tianan catacombs are open, I'll go and kill to my heart's content. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Wu Kuishan didn't say much. He walked and chatted with them as they left. On the other side, Qin Fengqing's face was full of disdain. So you were also kicked out? After he was kicked away by Tang Feng, he didn't go back to get beaten up. Instead, he was thinking about life. Unexpectedly, not long after, Fang Ping was also kicked over. Qin Fengqing's mood immediately improved. Fang Ping ignored him. He straightened his clothes, thought for a while, and said, Vice-Chancellor and the rest are back, so I'm officially going into closed-door cultivation. This time, I won't come out until I reach rank 6. When I reach rank 6, you're still early stage rank 5. Next time I go to the catacombs, don't follow me. I'm too lazy to bring you along. You're becoming more and more useless. You're just delaying things. Having said that, Fang Ping strode away. On the spot, Qin Fengqing hammered his bald head and gritted his teeth. Do you think I want to follow you? Do you think I have to follow you? What's so great about rank 6? Do you think I've never seen a rank 6 before? Chapter 472. March 23rd. Huang Jing forged a divine weapon. The core of forging a divine weapon was a monster's heart core and brain core, plus some other supplementary materials. The value of the supplementary materials was not low, but MCMU also had reserves in this area. What they lacked was the core materials. Everything was ready. 6 high grandmasters, no, 5 high grandmasters. Old Manly disappeared. This time, he really went into closed-door cultivation. With the 5 high grandmasters working together, they spent half a day to forge a charm now named Skybreaker. At this point, every MC Mayu grandmaster was equipped with a divine weapon. On this day, inside MC Mayu, divine weapons filled the sky. 5 divine weapons, 5 grandmasters, their power unparalleled. March 24th. The grandmaster ranking was updated. This time, there were more changes. The grandmaster ranking was not updated often. There were no major changes. Usually, there were few changes. In the global grandmaster ranking, there were a total of 212 rank 9s. Rank 8s, there were 526 on March 9th. Now, there were 527. Rank 7s, there were 1598 previously. Now, including Tang Feng, there were still 1598. It had not been long since the last update. Recently, no grandmasters had fallen, and someone had entered rank 8. On the Sino Nation Grandmaster ranking, there were 33 rank 9s, 98 rank 8s, and 320 rank 7s. Previously, MC Mayu's Grandmasters did not rank high among rank 7 and 8. The highest was Wu Quishan, and his ranking was average. However, this time, after the ranking was updated, there were changes. Wu Quishan did not hide his divine weapon in the Magic City catacombs anymore. That day, many grandmasters were present. This time, Magic City's crisis was resolved, and the news spread immediately. In addition, Wu Quishan displayed his strength in MC Mayu. The divine weapon flying in the sky, Magic City's powerhouses felt it. Wu Quishan, peak rank 8, quasi rank 9 divine weapon in hand. From the original global rank 8 129th, he entered the top 10 in one fell swoop. Sino Nation ranked 2nd among rank 8s, the global rank 8 ranked 6th. Li Changxing, originally ranked 525 in the global rank 8, had also advanced a lot. Global rank 8 475, Sino Nation 90. Although Old Manly had also obtained a divine weapon, he could not even materialize it. In reality, his combat power did not increase by much. The ranking list still took into account the increase in Li Changxing's spiritual energy, which was not far from materializing. That was why he was able to move up a few places. In the rank 8 ranking list, there was someone who was more glorious than Old Manly. Sino Nation, South Capital Martial Arts University Vice-Chancellor Chen Yaoting, on the night of March 23 in the South Capital Catacombs, achieved rank 8, forged his golden body, and crossed over. At the same time of the breakthrough, Qin Yaoting took the opportunity to kill 2 peak rank 7 powerhouses in the catacombs of South Capital, making a name for himself. Being a rank 8 powerhouse did not mean that he could easily kill a peak rank 7 powerhouse. However, Qin Yaoting had a divine weapon in hand. While he was breaking through, before the enemy rank 8 came to help, he quickly killed 2 rank 7 chieftains. This achievement was dazzling even among the level 8 experts. Based on this battle, even if Qin Yaoting had just broken through, his combat strength was recognized. He was ranked 323 in the world and 62nd in Sino Nation. Wu Quishan was ranked 2nd in Sino Nation's rank 8, Qin Yaoting was ranked 62nd, Li Changxing was ranked 90th. The 90th place that was the subject of much debate. It was rumored that the 8 golden body powerhouses behind him were not too happy about it. It was fine if Old Li continued to be at the bottom. It was useless even if he had a divine weapon. The rank 8 ranking had changed a lot, and so had the rank 7 ranking. Among the few high grandmasters in MC Mayu, although Lu Pola was a peak rank 7, he was just an average peak. He did not hone many skulls, and his previous ranking was not high either. This time, he obtained a divine weapon longsword, and Lu Pola's ranking increased a lot. At this moment, Lu Pola was ranked 87th in the world, 13th in Sino Nation. Huang Jing, 530th in the world, 97th in Sino Nation. Tang Feng, 730th in the world, 144th in Sino Nation. Lu Fengru, 860th in the world, 188th in Sino Nation. Tang Feng, who had just broken through, surpassed Lu Fengru's ranking once again. This time, it was not because Tang Feng's breakthrough phenomenon was stronger, but because Tang Feng had smelted a divine weapon on the spot, smelting the bloody gloves into a divine weapon. A pair of gloves that was completely in line with his wishes was not comparable to a divine weapon Chandao that Lu Fengru casually held. Tang Feng wore the bloody gloves. He was not any weaker than Huang Jing, who did not have a divine weapon. Lu Fengru was naturally slightly weaker. However, to be able to enter the top 1,000 in just a few days, it was already shocking. In the global ranking, the top 1,000 rank 7s were almost all middle-stage rank 7 powerhouses. The rest were only early-stage rank 7. The release of this new ranking meant that the weakest of the few grandmasters in MC Mayu was comparable to a middle-stage rank 7 martial artist. Not everyone had a divine weapon. Not to mention that MC Mayu still had a rank 8 powerhouse who was ranked top 10 in the world. The rank 8 powerhouse who ranked first in Sino Nation was a deputy commander in the military department, not Commander Zhou. There were many deputy commanders in the military department, and the strongest ones were 2 rank 9 deputy commanders. The rank 8 powerhouse in Sino Nation was not only the first in the country, but also the first in the world. There was no other reason. The other party was only one step away from rank 9. With a real rank 9 divine weapon in hand, he was indeed stronger than Wu Quishan. He had once fought a rank 9 city lord in the catacombs and lost. A powerhouse like this, whether it was his battle record or ability, was better than Wu Quishan's. The release of the ranking list caused quite a stir. Other than MC Mayu, SC Mayu received the most attention. Qin Yaoting took advantage of the breakthrough to kill 2 peak rank 7 chieftains. This was also big news. There was a lot of discussion in the outside world. Even so, not many people noticed that one of CC Mayu's grandmasters had also risen a lot in the ranking. Everyone had even forgotten some people on the grandmaster ranking list, let alone the rank 6 ranking list below it. This time, Tang Feng and Lu Fengru broke through one after another. There were some changes in the rank 6 ranking list. Luo Ichuan's previous rank 6 ranking was 37th. Now, after the two of them broke through, he was ranked 35th, becoming MC Mayu's current rank 6 number 1. For a moment, MC Mayu was much weaker in the rank 6 stage. However, at this moment, everyone did not care too much about this. It was a fact that MC Mayu's strength was increasing day by day. Fan Ping continued to dominate the rank 5 ranking list. Other than Fan Ping, MC Mayu had 7 other rank 5 instructors on the ranking list. 8 of them were in the top 100 of rank 5, which was also very eye-catching. On the rank 4 ranking list, MC Mayu also had many instructors on the ranking list. Among the students, Zhang Yu had also entered the rank 4 ranking list. As for the low-ranked ranking list, MC Mayu had even more students. At this moment, no one doubted the number 1 elite school. After the second championship, although MC Mayu had won the championship and suppressed CC Mayu, some of CC Mayu's instructors and students, including powerhouses from all over the world, did not think that MC Mayu was stronger than CC Mayu. However, at this moment, the strong and the weak were completely reflected. The outside world was in an uproar. MC Mayu, on the other hand, was quiet. At this moment, MC Mayu had sent off the people from Star Town City. After these people left, in the huge MC Mayu with thousands of people, there was almost no one wandering around the school. On the day the ranking list was released, Li Changxing did not curse because he was in closed-door cultivation. Fan Ping was not happy because he was also in closed-door cultivation. Qin Fengqing no longer complained that he was not on the ranking list. He was also in closed-door cultivation. The other grandmasters were also familiarizing themselves with their divine weapons and stabilizing their realms. The rank 6 instructors had also entered the celestiality cultivation room, or the pressure room, to cultivate. Almost no one could see them. Therefore, when Song Yingji returned to school, Old Song was very surprised. He was a rank 6 who was almost sent to clean the toilet. At this moment, he was the only rank 6 martial artist in MC Mayu who could be seen. Even the director of the school administration who usually wandered around. He had also gone into closed-door cultivation. Therefore, Old Song had become the current person in charge in a muddle-headed manner. In the school, Song Ingji was really at a loss. Seeing that many instructors were reporting to him, Old Song said with a blank expression, "I'm not the school leader. Instructor Song, your ability is the strongest at the moment." Someone corrected him. In MC Mayu, when the others were not around, your ability was the strongest. Naturally, you had to bear the responsibility. My ability is the strongest? Old Song looked around. Yes, he was the strongest. There was not even a shadow of a rank 6 present. Song Ingji did not know whether to cry or laugh. Just like that, I became the number 1 in MC Mayu? After asking about the situation and finding out that the others had all gone into closed-door cultivation, including Fang Ping who was also preparing to break through to rank 6, Song Ingji suddenly broke into a run without another word. This time, he was also going to enter middle stage rank 6. Just a little more, 3 to 5 days' time. When Magic City's catacombs was in chaos, he hid outside for many days. These few days had calmed down, so he ran back. Now that he knew that Fang Ping was going to break through to rank 6, Old Song did not dare to delay. If he delayed any more, he and Fang Ping would really be the same rank and level. While Fang Ping had not broken through, he should first enter middle stage rank 6. Combat strength aside, at least he would be slightly ahead in terms of ranks. Therefore Song Ingji, who had just become the highest leader, disappeared from MCMAU in less than 10 seconds. Fang Ping did not know about Song Ingji's return. He did not know about the ranking being updated either. At this moment, Fang Ping was walking on the waves, practicing his saber on the southern area's sea. Slash! Boom! Loud roars and explosive sounds could be heard continuously. On the surface of the sea, waves were set off. For 2 days and 2 nights, Fang Ping was practicing his saber. Slash after slash, erupting again and again. For 2 days, Fang Ping was trying to unite his mind and spirit, slashing out that peak slash. Unity of heaven and man, Sanjiao Gate appearing automatically. This was recorded in the ancient books. Fang Ping did not want to waste time exploring bit by bit, positioning himself bit by bit. He wanted to slash out a Sanjiao Gate appearing automatically. His vitality was as high as 6,000 calories, surpassing many rank 6 martial artists. However, a high vitality did not mean a strong outburst. Some powerhouses who had extreme control of their own strength might not be able to unleash all their strength in one move, but it was still very common for an outburst to reach 70% of their body's limit. Why was Old Manly so strong? He could kill a rank 8 in the rank 6 stage. Because Old Manly was really strong. In the rank 6 stage, not only did he achieve extreme control of his own strength, he even surpassed it. With a vitality outburst of 10,000 cal, he could use a sword that had been nurtured for 10 years to slash out tens of times the damage. At that time, there was no rank 6 ranking list. Otherwise, with this slash, Old Manly would have taken first place. No one would have any doubts. As for Fang Ping, his control of strength, as his advancement speed increased, became lower and lower. In the rank 1 stage, although Fang Ping could not achieve a 100% outburst, during the first championship, he could achieve more than 50% outburst. Logically speaking, the higher the rank, the stronger the control of one's own strength. In the lower ranks, almost no one could achieve a 100% vitality outburst. When it came to the middle ranks, some powerhouses who were stuck at the current stage for a longer period of time could achieve this stage. The few who were ranked at the top of the rank 6 ranking list could almost achieve a vitality outburst of 7,000 to 8,000 cal in one move. These top rank 6 powerhouses could kill that evil sect peak rank 6 in one move. Compared to them, Tang Feng's control of strength was slightly weaker. However, if he went up against that evil sect peak, if he went all out, he could kill the other party in 3 to 5 moves. As for Fan Ping, his vitality was as high as 6,000 calories. Right now, if he went all out, the power of one slash was only about 2,000 calories. If he wanted to slash out the Sanjiao Gate with one slash, this bit of strength was far from enough. Without celestiality, without the strength of golden bones, without mentality, I might not even be able to defeat some veteran peak rank 5 powerhouses. I have a strong vitality all for nothing. I have to cheat every time I kill an enemy. With his strength, it was reasonable to say that one move was enough for him to kill an early middle stage rank 6. This was because Fan Ping himself was comparable to powerhouses of these stages. But now, without celestiality and mentality intimidation, he would definitely not be able to kill an early middle stage rank 6 in one move. If this goes on, when I reach rank 7 or 8, I might really become a weak rank 7 or 8. At that time, everyone would have celestiality and mentality. Even if Fan Ping could replenish it endlessly, if the other party killed him in one move, he would not be able to unleash his advantage. Being invincible in the same rank would probably become a joke when he reached rank 7. When others practice saber techniques, their vitality is limited. Their body strength also has a limit. They can't bear to waste a lot of energy. I'm different. Fan Ping knew clearly where his advantage lay. Although he really wanted to wait until he reached 100 billion wealth points before using them. However, the difference between a difference of more than 4 billion and a difference of more than 5 billion was not big. Fan Ping would rather spend a few billion wealth points to improve his saber technique and increase his strength first. When he reached rank 6, would he still have to worry about not having enough wealth points? Boom! Fan Ping slashed again and again. The thunderous explosion resounded throughout a radius of 1,000 meters. At this moment, Fan Ping had already entered the coastal area. He was not at the southern area. Otherwise, such a huge commotion might blow up MC Mayu. Hard work can make up for one's lack of talent. Not to mention, I, Fan Ping, am not stupid. If I'm not talented, I can't be thrice-honed. So, even without the system, I'm still a well-deserved prodigy of this era. I have talent and I'm willing to work hard. If I, Fan Ping, don't succeed, who else in this era can? I'm the strongest in this generation. The strongest in all of history. Fan Ping hypnotized himself again and again. Or rather, at this moment, he thought so. He was the strongest. How could the barrier of a mere rank 6 stop him, Fan Ping? On the chaos-vanquishing saber, a cold, sharp glint appeared. Boom! When the saber slashed, a huge vortex exploded. That's not right. Power outbursts shouldn't be like this. I want to cut the water in half with one slash, and split the sea with one slash. At this moment, Fan Ping suddenly thought of the scene when he was learning basic combat techniques. In the video, when Zhang Qingnan kicked, the sandbag did not shake, but exploded directly. He thought of the scene when Lu Fengers slashed, and the stone turned into powder. These people's control over their power was much better than his. Split the sea! Not explode the sea! Fan Ping recalled everything in the past. At that time, he was not much stronger than same-ranked martial artists. At that time, he still had the mind to study combat techniques. However, as the speed of his cultivation increased, he almost forgot the importance of combat techniques. I can't just blindly pursue the intensity of the outburst. I also have to pay attention to the concentration of power. That's the strongest martial artist who can do both at the same time. Once he thought of it, Fan Ping continued his journey of cleaving the sea. He had the energy and vitality to do all this. Fan Ping was working hard. The most outstanding young people of this era were also working hard. In the cultivation room, Qin Fengqin swallowed the energy stones directly, manipulating the energy stones to explode in his organs. Blood flowed from his mouth. Early stage rank 5 to middle stage required honing of the 6 organs. Honing the 6 organs was a very complicated process. It had to be honed bit by bit, one by one. However, this required time. Time was what he lacked the most. If he had life essence, he could drink some to hone his internal organs. However, he did not. He did not even have liquefied energy essence. By letting the energy stones explode in his internal organs, he could use the intensity of the energy explosion to hone his internal organs quickly. However, no one knew how painful it was. Every explosion exploded on the softest and most vulnerable part of his body. It made his liver and intestines feel like they were being torn apart, and his internal organs were about to explode. However, Qin Fengqing felt that his speed was indeed much faster. As for his injuries, the time needed to heal them was much faster than the time consumed by slow cultivation. He was not afraid of being injured, as long as he could speed up his cultivation. Nanjiang. Wang Jinyang broke his meridians again and again. Inside his body, wisps of imperishable substance shot out, rapidly repairing these meridians. Above the meridians, wisps of golden color appeared. His meridians were broken, and the pain was unbearable. However, Wang Jinyang did not seem to care. In his hands he was still studying a combat technique manual. First military school. Yao Qingjuan's eyes were dull, bleeding from his 7 orifices. He regained clarity in an instant, trembling as he said, "Instructor, continue!" In front of him, a middle-aged man in military uniform showed a hint of pity in his eyes. His mentality exploded again, continuously suppressing Yao Qingjun, until his whole body trembled and his mentality trembled. Kmo. In the furnace room. Li Hansong roared. "Continue burning, I want to forge golden bones!" Outside, a few CCMAU instructors looked solemn. They continued to add energy stones, but they were not releasing energy. Instead, they were really burning energy. Wisps of energy flames that looked like real flames started burning in the furnace room. Li Hansong was screaming in pain. His half-golden body was badly mutilated, and his bones were melting. Why bother? You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.